Welcome to the Riser Virtual Cheese Awards 2025, showcasing the best of British teas. I'm Vicky Rogerson, and I've been moderating this session, which is C3 Blue Cheese Hard. And we're really excited to welcome two new judges to us today, Ned Palmer and Ruth Raskin. Ruth, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
So I'm from the Fine Cheese Company. So I'm the head of cheese care and quality here, which means I have the very lucky job of really being responsible for the cheese in every way. So from sourcing to hand selecting, making sure it's well cared for, um, deciding where it's going to be sold on the website, training, making sure the staff know how to look after the cheese and how to talk about it. So it's a lucky job. I've been here for 19 years, so a lot of time spent with a lot of very beautiful cheese.
That sounds like the dream job.
Mm-hmm.
Ruth and Ned?
I love that you said that talking about it is an important skill. So
Mm-hmm.
I do. I refer to myself as a freelance cheesemonger, and what I do for a living is to talk about cheese. So I do cheese tasting events. I write books about cheese. I wrote a book called A Cheesemonger's History of the British Isles. But I started in Borough Market in 2000. I worked for New York Yard Dairy, and I was dead lucky because I worked in the cellars looking after cheese. So similarly to Ruth, although when I did it, it was just a cellar. There was no temperature control, no humidity. Um, it was quite sort of seat the pants. But yeah, so looking after cheese, talking about cheese, writing about cheese, and eating a lot of cheese, which is an important way of developing your skill.
Great, thank you. I've got your books, they're very good.
Oh, thank you. Brilliant.
So today we're going to be judging across four key attributes for each different cheese. So we'll be doing scores for appearance, aroma, texture, and flavour. So we'll go through each cheese and then we'll judge and mark for each of those different attributes. And then the winning cheese, the class winner, there may well be one winner, maybe two winners, depending on kind of the scorings. But that winner of that class will then go on to the category finals, which will be on the 10th of June. And then the winning of those categories then go to the Supreme Final on the 11th of June. So let's get started. So the first cheese that we're going to be judging is C31010.
Lovely. So
Is that?
we'll
Yes.
double check we're on the same cheese.
Yes, that's good.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Lovely.
for appearance, Ruth, I was thinking that the colour of the blue is really attractive. It's got that sort of indigo colour that makes me
Yes.
think it's going to be nice. And also I like the balance is not tons of bluing in it,
Yeah,
and
it's quite light, isn't it?
quite light.
Mm.
If I was to be super picky, I would say it's not fully evenly distributed. There's like a
Yeah.
patch that's not, but I mean that's quite picky.
Yeah, mine's sort
That's
of really lovely and even on one side, the other side a
yeah,
little bit less so. I think,
yeah,
the curds are quite tight, aren't they? So there's sort of
yes.
not so much room for the blue to kind of
To
meander through,
open out.
maybe.
Okay, that is a good point, isn't it? Which is that's always gonna be a trouble with your harder blue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the
I'm also
challenge,
think,
isn't it?
yeah, yeah. So are we good? Should we do we give it to Mark out of 10 for appearance then and go on?
Yeah. It's always tricky
It's
with the first one, isn't it?
worst one I know because like we'll be I'll give it a 9 and
How do we calibrate? It's
I don't know. Do you want to like
it's quite
seven-ish
interesting,
to
I
nine?
think. Yeah, I was going to say it's quite interesting that the rind is
Oh,
quite
yeah.
dry for a blue cheese, isn't it?
It's
Normally
cloth
blue
bound.
cheeses are quite it looks like it's
I
been
feel
cloth
like
bound.
it's been
Maybe
cloth
it's
bound.
just the could just be the impression of the muslin from the mold,
Oh
but
yeah.
it looks like it might have been. I don't know. It's
I
hard to
reckon
tell,
there's a
isn't
bit
it?
of it. It's rather fascinating, isn't it? I
Yeah.
can't wait to find out what it actually is because I want to know.
Yes. Yes.
Um, yeah. I mean,
Interesting.
if
I
I were to,
want to get in there.
yes, let's eat some, or at least smell some.
What do you mean? I
I
want
would
to
give
eat
it.
it, which is what you want from the look of a
Oh, I
cheese,
see.
isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I do. I am very attracted to it.
What
Yeah.
score would you like to give it for appearance?
I think Ned suggested seven, and that sounds fine to me. I think what's the key is that it looks like I want to eat it, and I do. So it's
I like that.
a good start.
Moving on to aroma.
Aroma. Hmm.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah.
How's it going, everybody?
Oh,
Very good.
Just on the
oh,
first.
I went to meeting straight away. I was supposed to stick at aroma. I couldn't help myself.
Sneak in before you're supposed to.
Sorry, I've got excited.
You hungry?
Yeah, I mean, it's cheese, isn't it?
Clean and fresh, isn't it?
It's very fresh. I love how it's really yogurty
Yes.
and it's really clean.
You're sort of expecting a little bit of acidity, aren't you, from the smell? It's got such a
Wow.
lovely kind of bright,
Yeah,
fresh smell.
I'm quite excited for that for a blue because I'd expect it to be more richer and
Yeah,
more umami-ish.
yeah,
I'm
I
really
agree. It's
excited.
unusual for a blue, isn't it?
Yeah,
But again, very attractive.
What score would you like to give it then for aroma?
you say first this time because I said first last time.
I mean, I guess I'm probably on the 7 again because
Yeah,
it's that sort of very.
on the sort of.
Or would you go slightly higher than the
Well,
appearance?
I would go with 7. I mean, like in a sense, just as a blue, I guess I'm just really stuck on things like Stilton. Part of me wants to feel something a bit richer and more complex in the aroma.
Hmm.
Beyond that lovely clean yogurty thing, do I want some of the
Yeah,
umami, some bubblegum or something? So
yeah, yeah.
I'd have a 7 for now because it's unfaultable,
Yes,
but I'm
but
not
it's
going.
unexpected, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's not what you imagine a blue is going to smell like.
yeah, quite. I can't wait to know what it actually is. Can we eat some now then officially?
Yeah, texture and taste. You can
Oh,
eat
texture.
text, but you can, yeah.
I mean, I love that. That is what I want from a hard, in quotes, blue. It's
Hmm.
firm, but it's like fondant.
Yeah, it's more crumbly inside than I was imagining from looking at
Right.
it. You can sort of see it is actually a much more open texture than I was expecting.
Wait till you eat it.
What does that mean?
But it's still, even though it's got that striated, crumbly looking appearance, it's still very creamy.
Mm. It's a lovely texture, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is. It is quite fondant.
yeah,
Melts away quite quickly.
yeah. I think I like that. I mean, okay, I'm trying to avoid value judgments like because Jane
Yes.
Higginbotham hammered them out of me. But I think what I want is when there's fondant texture is for it not to then stick around and be
Hmm.
clagging up the mouth. So
Yeah.
the way that I appreciate the way that that starts out fondanty and then
Mm.
clears.
Yeah. It's very definitely not claggy.
It's very definitely not clagging.
Oh,
Sounds like it's damning with faint praise. I'd be quite
I
positive
didn't
about
mean to
that.
be.
No, like a 7 to an 8 sort of a thing. Do you reckon?
You can do a 7.5 if you want to do meet in the middle.
What do you reckon? Should we say 7.5?
Let's say 7.5.
Okay.
I love a healthy compromise.
Mm.
And that now
Um,
on to taste.
So, taste. It is. It's kind of gentle, isn't it? It's not
yeah,
in your face, but then we didn't expect it to be from the aroma.
no, from the aroma and that sort of, and that it's not very heavy bluing, quite firm texture.
Mm.
All the things, I think it's skillful cheese making for it to have a clean flavour,
Mm.
and I like that. And
A
this is the
little bit.
tone of voice where there's a butt coming.
Mm. Well, it's
What
a
do you
little
think?
bit hair drops, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? There's a
Oh
little bit
yeah,
of that, that
yes,
sort of ethanol,
yes,
little bit,
boozy.
yeah, a little bit boozy, which is not a bad thing.
I think
Um,
I mean I'm feeling quite sort of six-ish about it. It's I want it to do more.
mhm. What is
I
it?
lo- I, I'm really appreciate. You can't not say light, can you? I think the cleanness is good, skillful cheese making.
Yeah,
I think the balance is good, skillful cheese making. I feel like I wish they'd let themselves go a bit more.
yeah, a little restrained.
Yeah, that, which is,
Go a little wilder.
yeah. Am I being? I mean, the length is great.
Mhm.
Is it a little bit bitter in the finish? Do you get any bitter?
I mean, I get a little, but not a worrying amount personally.
Yeah. I mean, I
Um,
feel that, yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? So,
it's pretty good.
for now,
Well, that's 6.5.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable with that.
yeah, I think so.
I know I'm pretty hard on things. I don't think I've ever given a 10 in my life to anything.
It's hard, yeah. Is
It's
there
really
such thing
hard,
as the
isn't
perfect cheese? That's always the question, isn't there?
it? Yeah.
Lots of
I mean,
judges don't give tens, don't kind of
Yeah.
I mean,
restrain themselves from tens, but it's good.
But I guess you've got to ask yourself, what would it need to have to make
yeah,
it 10? So if
yeah.
it's I don't know, if it's a 9, what would you
What
want
would
it?
it? Yeah.
What's it lacking to make it a 10?
Mm.
I don't want it to be a principle that you never give 10s. It's like it's
No.
theoretically possible. I mean, I feel like I've had some 10s, but then my emotions might have got in the way, you know. Like you have a bit of Monty's on the farm, and Jamie's talking to you, and you're in the next to the
Yeah.
chili tree, and you're a bit weepy, and you're like, "This is an 11."
Context is important, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I love doing this because I think in this setting, I'm there's as little context as there can be,
Exactly.
which is
Yeah.
really
You've
good.
stripped it.
Yeah,
You've stripped it
definitely.
all away, haven't you?
So
Yeah, I'm not going to burst into tears over a cheese.
you
I have
might,
done that.
they're not
I
the
have done. I have cried. But when I get back off this, I'll be.
We're going to do 1021 now, if that was someone
Yeah.
you
That is
Can I just
this
say,
fella.
I'm not 100%. I think it's the first cheese.
Yeah,
Maybe we might calibrate later. I wonder if we've been a little bit harsh on the 6.5, but
sure.
we can sort of
Okay.
we can kind of calibrate and think about that because
Yeah.
I guess what does a 6.5 mean? Well, you know, there's nothing unpleasant about that. It's lovely, it's fresh, it's bright,
Yeah.
it's it's a very pleasant cheese. We wanted a bit more from it. That's fair enough, that would get it higher. I just wonder if we've been tiny bit. Maybe it's more like a 7,
It's
but
just yeah. I mean, I
but
think you're
it's
right.
hard at the beginning.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, like 6 is like the low end of good, isn't it? So
Yeah,
that's really very good.
You can always come back. You can always come back
Yeah.
yeah.
and
I would
recalibrate.
like to register Ruth registering on that note.
There are no rules about going back. You know.
I'll put it as a 7 for now with a note to come back as well.
Yeah,
But by
good.
Happy
Yeah,
with that.
yeah, me too.
okay, good. So
So this is this one, isn't it?
Yes. So
I just
we're
want
on
to
the same
confirm.
sheet.
I'm really. It's an exciting looking cheese. I still have that same thing, Ruth, that the blue's quite. I mean, it's quite a small piece to look at, but it's not like the blue is very evenly distributed.
Yeah. I'm heading right into the middle. Have you done the
Yeah,
same? Yeah.
yeah, I have. Yeah, definitely.
Um, and I want to see what's going on in the center of it.
Yeah,
It's more uneven than the last one, isn't it? There's
it is.
white.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I'm personally like emotionally, I'm so excited about the color, that rich color, and I love the color of the rind. I'm really fascinated by that, the just the differentness in white mold,
Yeah.
uh, and that rumpliness, and also the moisture. You know, you were talking about that you expect on a like the
Yeah.
rind makes me think, oh, this is going to be really complex and interesting.
It's quite
Uh,
gnarly, isn't it?
it's
It's got
gnarly, yeah.
personality.
I mean, personality, and I'm a sucker for gnarly and personality. I'm a mildly the colour's actually a bit inconsistent. I had to take my glasses
Mhm.
off to really check. I get like pale
Yeah, me too.
spots, little bit concerned about that.
Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned about the very straight line of mold through the piercing hole. You
Yeah,
can see where the
I've
where
got
the
that too.
needle has gone straight down, and
Yeah.
then you've got a very, very straight line of mold going in there, which I know is fairly common.
Mm,
And with the hard cheese style, it's more difficult to disperse the mold through the curds, isn't it?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's
for
not
sure.
open, you haven't got holes that you would have in, something like a roquefort. You've got those little holes that
Yeah, the
appear for the mold.
crevices.
So we haven't got any of that. So it's not surprising, but
No,
the
and it
mold
is quite
looks,
dense.
yeah, exactly. I think the cheese looks a bit dense and looks a little bit like the mold is kind of tightly packed it in
Mm.
where the piercing marks are rather than dispersing
Actually,
through the cheese.
I'm with you because I get those. I've got those marked um,
Mhm.
bits. Are we going to be a little bit harder then? Is that
Um, I I like to be nice.
I want?
Um, but I feel a little less enticed by that
Yeah,
cut surface than I would
yeah,
like to be. Yeah,
yeah. Well, five's kind of neutral, isn't it? If we give it a five, that's like it's not bad. It's
yeah,
just not necessarily popping.
yeah,
Are you happy with that?
yeah,
5 for
yeah,
appearance. Okay.
yeah.
Aroma.
I'm suddenly really with Sarah on why flavour is the most important because these other ones feel more subjective. And like I know I like really weird, like I love a gnarly looking cheese. It's quite muted. It's not
Hmm.
um earthy.
Yeah, it's definitely quite muted, is the word, certainly.
It's not. I'm not like oh my god, wowee. Which is not. It's not bad. It's just not.
Hmm. Yeah,
You
there's
know.
nothing unpleasant about it. It's not
Yeah.
musty or
No.
just a bit shy.
Cheesy characters. Yeah, it is a little bit. Or just retiring.
Yes.
It's
Guys,
Um,
certain. It's not got like you said, it's not musty. It's not got ammonia. I mean, is this feeling quite sort of five-ish as well?
I think it is feeling quite five-ish.
Okay.
Five and a half?
Yeah, five and a half. Yeah.
okay. And texture.
I mean, we do run up against this what's it supposed to be thing because
Yeah.
you know, it's got fondant more so than the other one, more moisture.
Mm.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. So when I sort of did that, I thought it was going to be a bit rubbery, but then
Mm,
in the mouth, it's not at all.
mm.
That's It's really quite rich in the mouth, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's really satisfying.
Mm.
I'd go as like higher, seven
Mm.
and a half or something.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm really surprised by the texture. From the look of it, I didn't
yeah,
think it was going to be that, rich and pleasing.
yeah. It's a lot of fun that. So yeah, 7.5.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then flavor.
I'm a bit. Oh,
Mm.
it's quite powerful straight up. It's quite spicy.
It's powerful. It's quite shouty, isn't it?
It's quite shouty. It's rather stinging the back of my throat a bit.
Um, it's obviously fair enough for a blue to be salty. I think
Yeah,
it's potentially a
right.
little bit
Yeah,
imbalanced in the salt. What do you think?
it's hard. I love salt. I'll eat salt crystals. Um, yeah, I think it is. I love salt. I think it's a bit imbalanced in the salt for the flavour.
Yeah.
And I feel like that. I guess it's ammonia. That it's. I can't get all of the complexity because the salt
Mm.
and the spice, which I'm assuming is ammonia or
Mhm.
um, amino acid. I'm not
Yeah.
really
It's,
tasting much else.
it's very upfront salt and
Yeah,
piquant, isn't it?
yeah,
And they're
yeah.
not unpleasant things, but there's nothing kind of holding them up.
That's it. There's a little bit of that kind of earthiness coming through. It's definitely got potential to be more complex.
Hmm.
I would like to dial down the salt and the spice.
I would too. Yeah, I think it takes over slightly.
Does a bit.
Mm.
It's funny
Uh,
because if you sell those cheeses on retail, people are going to be excited. It's exciting. There's going to be people, usually chaps, who are going to be like, "Ooh, it's spicy." There's nothing wrong with that. It's fun, if they enjoy it.
yeah,
Yeah, I could sell it.
yeah,
I,
yeah. For the customer who says, "Oh, can I have a really nice strong blue, please?"
I would. I mean, it's sort of, it feels lower than 5 to me because it's not giving. Well, it's not false though. Maybe it's around four
Yeah,
or five because they're not
that's
false. It's just
yeah.
I'd like to say
The low
more.
side would be a bit harsh because the
Yeah.
flavors in themselves aren't unpleasant. They're
No,
just a little bit
no.
out of whack, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're not faults, are they? It's not got a flavour in it that I would really identify as something deeply wrong.
No,
What do you
I
think?
don't
You're
think
nicer than me, Ruth.
so. Can't help it then. Um, 5.5, 6.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we gave the other one like a 7 for flavour, didn't we?
Hmm.
Good. Yeah, then I would give this 5.5 or 6. Now we have
Okay.
to decide, don't we?
Eight.
Okay, maybe it is a 6 because we're probably. I mean, you and I are tuned to eating some of the greatest cheeses in the world all the time.
Hmm. Hmm. Like you say, there's a customer for this. There's no,
Yeah.
it's not a bad cheese. It's
No, 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 not at all. I just noticed a little bit of caramel as well, which I was really expecting in it.
Mhm.
In the finish. Yeah, I'd go 6.
We go 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
And 1026.
that one made me think of Yetos, the one we just had. I mean, when I looked at it,
Ooh. Oh
it
yes.
just, just a bit of the colour and
Yes.
texture.
Yeah, yeah. Quite intense. Okay, so 1026. Sure, we're on the same cheese.
Yes, this
Yeah,
is. I'm fascinated by this already.
yeah.
I
Very
like
attractive.
it is, isn't it? I mean, I've got some. Yeah, it's got some wet greyness, which I don't think you can ascribe to packaging.
I'm a little sad because I've got a beautiful side, which I
Yeah,
love the look of.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to
That's
get
what I
in
do.
there. And
Yeah,
then I've got
and then
a little damp side.
is that because that side makes me think of a territorial,
Yeah,
like a nice old stoner mill wheel or something, and I think really
yeah.
interesting and really quintessentially British. Is that just a little bit of poor turning, or is it something deeper? Because it's quite wet.
Potentially salt distribution, maybe.
I did wonder about that. The rest, mind you, the whole cheese looks so consistent,
Yeah.
just on the
Yes.
rind.
Yeah. I guess we don't know how it's salted. If
No,
if
because
it were
then you
hand salted, maybe there could be some
surface.
inconsistency,
Yeah,
but then it might
yeah,
not be. It might be brined or it might be curd salted. So we
yeah.
don't know. But
No.
yeah, it's you want to score it really high for that, and then you kind of have to.
I know, yeah, that's hard, isn't it? If I was squinting and looking at that, I'd be like, "Oh, an 8 or something."
Yeah, we have to take it down a bit, don't we?
Well, yeah, I mean, quite. I mean, if you think one thinks that it's not just a packaging thing and it's something a bit deeper, then I'll take more off. The rind
That's
is
tough, isn't
coming
it?
away.
Because yeah, I guess
It's
we
actually
can't be
coming
sure though, can we? We can't be sure.
6.5.
Yeah,
Yeah, just yeah.
yeah, because you've got the gorgeousness, and then
That's
we've got
it.
to take a bit off
Exactly.
rather than it
Yeah,
being unattractive.
I think so.
Yeah,
Make it more like that, guys. That's beautiful. I
yeah,
want that.
we want
And
that.
yeah, I want that. And I like, again, so far I've been really happy with the percentage of blue in all the cheeses.
Yeah,
I mean, it's more in the middle than around the outside, but I
yeah,
feel like, of course, it is. It's sort of hard cheese, and it's been
yeah,
peaked, going to start developing the center.
yeah.
So,
And with this one, we talked about the piercing lines on the last one
yeah,
being a bit troubling. The piercing line on this one is fine.
it's,
On mine,
it's,
it's you
yeah,
can see the line, but it's a lovely, healthy blue mold growing in there. There's no
yeah.
incursion of molds you don't want.
No, for sure, you're dead right, and it's also the texture's maybe a little bit more open than the other two, so that's getting
Yeah,
to develop
yeah,
more. It's got that really classic British bluing to me as well.
yeah,
I'm so not a
yeah.
patriot, but I think it
Do you have a
really
score
sort of looks like a territorial.
do you have a score for aroma?
Oh,
Thank you for keeping us on track, Rick.
we
We
Someone to
could be
limit your
here for a while.
enthusiasm.
have to be trusted.
It's
Going into the
similar,
middle.
yeah,
I'm getting a lot more now. I've cut right into the middle.
yeah,
It was another quite shy one, wasn't it?
yeah. I like that we're starting with quite. I don't know if it's deliberate or not, but they are more delicate, more fresh Scots.
Yes.
That still got that lovely clean yogurtiness,
Yeah.
a little bit more depth. If anything, I'd say it's slightly more enticing than the first one,
Yeah. The
only,
clean
only by a little bit.
side of the rind has got a lovely sort of mushroominess to the
Yeah, definitely.
actual
Yeah,
aroma on the rind, which I
yeah,
think is a nice contribution.
yeah. Um, Definitely like 7 or a bit more.
Hmm.
7? Do you agree, Ruth?
You happy with
Very
that?
happy with 7.
Great.
And now
Yeah.
texture.
Let's do it. Right. Let's do it
It's
now.
kind of like Cheshire. Oh, it's a bit
Yeah.
like Cheshire or something. Which is good if that's what it wants to be. Mm.
Hmm. Quite a nice combination because you've got the fondant, but then it's
Yes,
retaining a bit of crumble, isn't it?
absolutely. I love it's real Goldilocks. I think,
Mm.
which I feel is like unique to the British cheeses.
Mm.
I love that
Definitely, like you
texture.
said, sort of territorial
It is quite.
character is present,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is very pleasant. I mean, I'm definitely feeling quite 8ish
Yeah, I'm
about
happy
that.
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
because I think that's such a lovely contrast. It's not one thing,
Exactly.
it's two things at once, and they're both sitting
They're
really
both
well
nice.
together. Mm.
Totally. Yeah.
So 8 for texture.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay. And taste.
I mean, taste is very good too.
It is
I
great.
think
Still quite salty.
it's
If I
quite
was to
salty.
be, there'd be the one thing, and I love salt.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, these are still. I don't know if these are picked to go in order of sort of strength, but it's interesting that this two is not, and it's not. It's not like I'm eating Roquefort or something. It's still quite mild.
Yes.
I'm feeling quite 8ish about it. Maybe a
Me
bit
too.
more. The salt takes it. If there's a bit less salt, I might be inclined to give it an 8.5 or something.
Yeah. I think it is a little too salty.
Yeah,
And so slightly.
yeah,
So I think that would keep it on an 8 rather than a
yeah.
9 for me.
Cool. I'm happy to go for 8 with that.
Vicky, I'm not doing maths in my head.
Mhm.
Are we allowed to know if we've got what medals we're scoring at this point?
It just depends. The pudding cheese is the one that has the highest score.
Okay, so you don't allot medals as you go along.
No, so it's kind of so with the
That's fine.
you could have a top three. You could potentially
Yeah,
have top two if you believe there's two that's strong enough.
sure.
So we
Where we are so far, have we
this
scored as we should have? This is the highest scoring so far.
this is the highest scoring one, yeah, 33.5 at the
Yeah,
moment. And the first one was 32 and the second one was 27. Uh,
yeah. I'm happy. I feel happy with that, Ed, you, that this is
Yeah,
the best cheese we've
definitely.
had so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
obviously
Gosh,
Yeah,
we double weight for taste, so you could
yeah,
have
oh, I see.
scores
yeah,
from three, but then if it's an amazing taste, then that's a 50% the highest, you know.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm very happy that that's the best cheese we've had so far, definitely.
Great.
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, 1028 is the next one.
Yeah, interesting. That is that.
Right, 028. Okay. Yep,
Yes,
we're on the same cheese.
yes.
Okay.
It's it makes me think with that rind that's almost not a rind that this is something that wants to be like Roquefort
Yes.
in
Oh,
in what the maker is aspiring to.
yeah. Possibly. Yeah. You're imagining it's foil wrapped when
Yeah,
it's being
yeah,
matured, probably. So we're not
yeah.
growing a natural rind, particularly as we go.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Because there is something to the rind. There's a little bit of
Yeah.
it's like a foil wrapped cheese that's had its foil taken off for a bit,
Yeah.
but it's not really meant to develop a mulled rind.
Yeah. Which is fine. That's a choice, isn't it?
Yeah, defo. I mean, I celebrate it. I think
Mm.
sometimes I feel like foil wrapped ones are so wet, which is
Yeah.
nice. But
Blue's good and even
it
for
is,
kind of,
yeah. I mean, mine's a bit like it's hard. I want to see a whole cheese
not
because
so
that
much on
side's
yours. Yeah. Yeah.
less, but then
Yeah.
that side is.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Yours is less than
Um,
mine.
yeah.
The blue's a lovely dark, sort of navy
Yes,
blue
I like
colour.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and also it's not. Well, that's funny. I mean, I've got a long line of that blue, but that's just natural
Yeah.
blue. It's not introducing other errant mold. My only
Mm.
thing is I've got some dark, can you see there? There's a
Yeah. Little
dark
patches.
patches in
Hmm.
and I want to just cut in and see if it's just that it's blue behind the thing or
Yeah.
whether it's white or whether it's a bit darker and uneven, that colour. Have you got
I'm going
anything
to go
like
into the centre and just see. Listen, I've got. mm, Actually, no, mine's looking pretty good actually.
that?
Like a tiny hint of it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's looking rather good. Do you think it could just be from having been cut and wrapped, or do you
Maybe.
think it is
Yeah.
integral to the cheese?
No, I don't. I don't. I mean, if it's integral, it's really minor. It's just me being super. Oh, so maybe a little bit softer there. Oh, I think I just. Don't worry about that. That's just me being over the top. No, I think it's just
Yeah,
the appearance
I,
is generally fine.
I think mine is very attractive.
Yeah,
I think I want to dive in. It looks good.
great. Yeah, it
Um,
does, doesn't it? And I'm curious about it. I like that. I think that's important to have
yeah,
that non-natural rind foil wrap but dried is like it's nice to see
yeah.
something like I wonder what it's going to be like.
So would you think mm, seven, 7.5?
Yeah, I would say seven,
Yeah,
just because I was mildly concerned about the slightly darker patches.
yeah, yeah.
And aroma next.
Can I just not smell anything? Because they've all had that
They're all
kind
a
of
little bit shy so far.
this. Yeah. Did you say paper?
Oh no, no, I just said it a bit shy so far.
Yeah. It's a bit more. I'm getting a bit more than the other cheese. In fact, I've got. I thought you said paper because it's a bit
No,
like when you open a book.
Mhm.
not exactly musty, but something
Mhm.
that's doing a bit more for me than just yogurt.
Mhm.
I'd be quite slightly biscuity.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, it's a very just kind of classic blue cheese smell, isn't it? Do you know
tastes
what I
it. Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Uh, we're going to give everything sixes and sevens, aren't we, Ruth?
I mean, feels like a 6 or a 7 to me.
Should we say
It's
6.5 then?
Yep.
Yeah.
6.5. Okay. Texture.
Mm. Texture's good again.
It is good. We're getting some good cheeses, aren't we, Ruth?
Yeah, some good cheeses.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
I can't fault it because I
Yep.
feel like it because it looks so much in that Roquefort style and it's giving that
Mm.
Roquefort fondantiness.
Mm. Not getting grittiness, where the blue is quite
Ah,
developed,
yeah,
you can sometimes get a grittiness which is a bit less enjoyable.
yeah.
I'm not getting that.
No, no. I mean, I wouldn't fault that at all.
Mm. It's
It's
good.
got an element of the eightish.
Yep.
Yeah, eight.
Yep. I think so. H is good.
The flavour's interesting because there is some unevenness in the blue to me. So I have one bit that's got plenty of that blue flavour,
Hmm.
and another bit not so much.
Yeah.
Problem is, I like both flavours, so I don't mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's quite clean,
Yeah.
beginning to do more than the others.
Mm. Oh, I did actually just get a little bit of grittiness, but
No, mate.
only a little.
No,
Um,
I'm trying to look for the grittiest bit I could have there.
the
Yeah,
flavour for me is very slightly flat. I
very
don't know if
slightly.
that's flat.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Or do you not agree?
I I guess one thing is that it's doing more than the really dark orange one, where the
Hmm.
salt and spice is overwhelming it. So I can
Yeah,
feel more going on.
yeah, definitely.
Um, I mean, the problem is that I think of when I'm thinking of blue cheeses, I sort of judge things against a, a Stichelton or Colston Bassett at their absolute best, and then I feel like
Mhm.
that's me. That's like if you judge me against Usain Bolt on 100 meters, it'd just be mean. Um, I don't feel it's exactly that. It's quite. I can't fault it, and I like it. I'm not going, oh my god, but I am enjoying it a lot. It's
Yeah, I
quite complex. I
think that's what
like,
I mean. It's
uh,
well balanced.
yeah,
You know, the salt
which
and
is
the
what. What?
piquancy sit well together. The
Mm,
texture's good.
yeah,
And just not going, oh my God, that's gorgeous.
no, right. Does that mean it's like 7 or 7.5 or something? Is that where that is? Or
Um,
a bit less?
no, I don't think it's less. It's good. I'm just not
Yeah,
getting those kind of, oh my Lord, I love that vibes.
yeah, yeah.
7.5 is
I would
fine.
say I like 7.5 because
Yeah.
there is nothing to fault it in.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just not quite knocking our socks off, but
yeah,
good.
nice finish too. It's got
Mm.
length. It's not. It's
Yeah.
quite. I get that Sichuan pepper. Do you like a slightly hot, cold
Mm.
tongue?
Yeah.
Which again, it's not. I don't object to it in any
Yeah.
way.
Not at all.
I usually find that quite fun. When we have the time, I want to ask you what you think that is.
So one,
Sorry.
two, three, four next.
Okay. Sorry. Throwing away my crumbs.
Yes, I'm not sure how to dispose of my crumbs. I'm in the living room. Very crummy floor.
Crumbly, crumbly class.
Yeah.
Don't want to, contaminate anybody's cheese by the previous cheese.
No, quite.
So 1034,
Yep.
is that correct? Okay. This one?
Well, I mean, that does. I like the amount of blue and the distribution.
Mm-hmm.
I think they both score quite well for me. I think it just needs a bit of a scrape. It's been.
Yeah. Mine's very uneven in the distribution.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, see that side look is pretty good.
Yeah.
Then that side is a bit different.
Yes. Less so. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that depends. Like depends on that side.
I think it looks attractive. I like the natural rind.
Yeah, I do like that. It looks like something that's been dug up from the Titanic, an old
Yes.
brass bell. It's been
Yep.
underwater for a few hundred years. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
really enticed by the rind. It really makes me want to eat.
Yeah. Rind looks beautiful. Looks very healthy, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
So we love the rind. It's a little bit uneven. Does
Yeah.
that take it back into the kind of realms of the 7?
Yep. Yep. I say that. I'm happy with 7 for that.
Yeah.
Aroma.
Aroma. I'm just going to go into the middle because I feel like that's
I almost wish I'd got
Sarah.
one. My wife's been eating lots of cheese for dinner. That's why she married me.
Other reasons too, hopefully.
Yeah, I think she saw the potential of me being internet. It's funny jokes and I can cook. It's
So I'm getting
really,
very little off that.
I was quite excited.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, because there was so much more when I cut into it with just the worst cut I've ever done. I just want to say I'm a disgrace to my village and the unevenness of the cut that I've done. But I did think it's quite an exciting sweetness and maltiness.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, in comparison to what it is on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's quite quiet. I mean, I would say that's in the realms of the 6.5,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. I think what there is lovely. There's just very little.
Yeah, yeah, 6.5.
Yeah.
And texture.
Chewy.
Mm. Yep.
I don't know if that's. I mean, I quite like chewiness. I just don't know if it's meant to be. I quite enjoy it actually.
Yeah.
It's a change from the other textures.
It's more that sort of veering towards the slightly kind of supple, bouncy
Yeah,
style of cheese, isn't it? Which you just don't necessarily expect in a blue so much.
no, I think it's
But
a hotter make.
hmm,
I wouldn't really fault it. It's quite fun.
hmm,
It's not like if it was really dry, that would be sad, or if it was really too wet.
yeah,
We just, yeah.
it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because
I can't see that you'd have done something wrong to get to that texture.
no, it's just, I guess, whether it's a good choice.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, okay, good point. Well, what do you think? What's your instinct, Ruth?
My instinct is it's completely fine,
Yeah,
but I don't go, oh wow, I want more of that.
it's that. Yeah, five and a
So
half.
it's a sort of 5.5, 6-ish.
Should we say 5.5 then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Flavor wise, I think the blue's kind of not adding a great deal of
Yeah,
excitement to the
yeah,
base flavor of the cheese.
yeah.
But like the flavor of the cheese, whether it was pierced or not, is
Mm,
kind of the dominant flavor. Not
yeah.
really dominant, but it's definitely on a par with the blue.
Mm,
The blue's not kind of bringing any of that kind of booziness that you might like, or piquancy, or
yeah. I know what you mean, actually. It's kind of like, I wonder if it would have been worth leaving it to mature longer
maybe.
and then pierce it.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a sessionable cheese, and I'm sessioning it. I should probably try and pace myself.
Yeah,
But I know what you mean. I mean, I guess then that if it's like quite nice to inoffensive to you'd like it to be more, is that what the very definition of five or five around that? Or
yeah. I mean, I guess slightly more than a five, I would think, because everything
yeah,
that's there is nice.
well, it is, isn't it? Six?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting a tiny bit of bitter off the blue.
I was just about to say,
Yeah,
yeah, there is a bit. I always
yeah.
feel like if I sense bitterness, it must be quite a lot because I love bitterness.
Hmm. Yeah,
I do feel that with the blue, yeah. I wonder if it would be interesting to have a cheese that had been aged longer
yeah.
before
It'd
it
be interesting,
was
wouldn't it?
pierced. Yeah. I mean, I celebrate it. I want it to happen more. I'm
Yeah,
really interested in the rind. It makes me want to stroke it.
yeah. So it's drinkable.
I used to want a pair of
Mhm.
trousers made for with rind.
Yes, that would be perfect.
It would be, wouldn't it? But no one would go out with me if my
No
cheese
one,
were cheese rind. No.
I'll have to stay in the realms of fantasy, that one.
There's an awful lot with there. 1057,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lovely looking piece of cheese.
isn't it? I mean, you're onto a winner when you use an Atto. Uh, it does, I would say largely, but for a corner of it has really good distribution of blue. And I think that corner, what can you do about that? You can't pierce into the corner anyway.
Yeah, I think
And the
that's
blues,
completely fair enough.
right? And the blue's got that nice kind of slightly greenish. It's got a
Hmm.
bit of variety that makes me think the flavor's going to be quite complex.
Yeah. Rind looks super healthy.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah, because it's sort of optimal.
Yeah.
It's got nice mold growth, but it's not soggy.
Yeah.
It's quite
I mean,
eightish, isn't it? Hmm?
yeah, I think so. I
Yeah,
haven't like with this sort of style of cheese, I'm perfectly happy for it to have a kind of tacky, sticky rind actually.
yeah, I
This
agree.
one
Yeah,
doesn't, but I wouldn't mind either way.
if
But
it
given that
was,
this is
yeah. I mean, if I think about when I see a Stilton, if it's got that slightly orange pink and is slightly moist, then I'm particularly excited.
me
And if
too.
there was one next to it that looked nice but had looked drier, I'd be slightly less excited.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
eight.
very enticed. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
happy with
call
that.
it? So we used to call it baboon's bum, the pink colour. So you don't call it that. I didn't know if it was like a
Do you know
general term
that's
or
a
just a new
standard industry term, Ned? But I'm sure you can make it so. It
That's better not.
can be your challenge to make that the
Yeah.
standard term.
Yes. BB with a little numbering system. Yeah, it does look really enticing, doesn't it?
Yeah, aroma's lovely.
Yeah.
Like you said before, that's the kind of sweet maltiness, isn't it?
Yeah. Defo.
That you like. It's not a
Yeah.
huge aroma.
It's not, is it? I mean, it's got a sort of sevenishness, the aroma to me.
Mhm.
Like it's the things I know that I want.
Yeah,
If they were more, I'd be even happier.
yeah, me too.
Good.
Yeah,
7 for aroma.
yeah,
Great. I mean, I think you can tell by the look that the texture's going to be good,
yeah,
and it's
definitely.
it's on that chewy end of fondant, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's good.
Oh yeah,
And
it
it's
is.
nice and even.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. There's still a bit of resistance, isn't it? There's still a little
Yeah,
bit of
it's
crumbiness.
like the chewy end of fondant.
Mm. Yeah,
I
definitely.
really, I think the texture's excellent. Like 8 it,
Hmm.
8.
Good. Happy with
I'm
that.
just the flavour's not blowing me away.
Yeah, it's a
Good.
little bit less exciting than I was hoping.
Yeah, it's that I. It's got some of the blue, but less of the umami flavour of the blue.
Hmm.
It's a bit bitter. I don't get the sort of all the malt and yeah, like malted biscuits or shreddies, whatever, and caramel and some
Hmm.
sweetness I would like. Don't really get much umami.
I mean, I'm definitely getting some.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I am. Um, I guess just less than I would like. Yes, I
yeah.
agree. I'm definitely getting all those things.
Mm.
I am getting the kind of the savory balanced by the sweet. The two are going
Yeah,
along together quite nicely.
yeah. I mean, it's certainly. I like the way the flavors are balanced and integrated.
Mm.
They intertwine around each other nicely.
Yeah, definitely. Salt levels about perfect, I would
Oh,
say.
good, isn't it? Really good. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
I
because
don't
it's just there as a backbone. It's not.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can't. That's a lovely way of putting it. You sort of don't
Mm.
exactly want to notice the salt, do you?
Yeah, you just want it to provide the right,
Mm.
structure, and then let the flavors kind of speak for themselves, which I think it does.
So what's your scores for texture and then flavour?
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
texture's well good. I think. Right.
I think texture, did we say 7?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Then flavour.
I mean, 7, 7.5.
Yeah. I would be 7 rather than 7.5 for me.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
Just because it's a
But
bit dialed
seven.
back for you.
Yeah. I mean, I get more of the. I don't want to call it bitterness because it sounds so negative, but
Hmm.
the thinner rather than the fatter flavors.
Hmm.
I'd say
Yep.
7. That's instinctively.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. And then next one is 1072.
Okay.
Exactly the same cheese put here just to test us. It's interesting, isn't it? Slightly paler,
Yeah. Paler,
and the
presumably
blues in it.
tomato. Mine's got a
Yeah.
lot more blue.
Yeah. Have you
A lot
noticed?
more.
This is something that I want to discuss and ask you about later because the blue for me, I'd call it, it's in like in chains. The other
Hmm.
blue is more in pockets and lines, and this is in these sort
Yes.
of chains that, which I
Yeah.
find so specific,
Hmm.
and I have no idea whether that's that it's a particular strain or something to do with the texture,
Yeah.
but it's a clear difference to me.
Yeah.
It
No,
does.
definitely.
It's
I mean, just
interesting.
looking at it, my guess is that it's going to feel like a higher moisture cheese when we get in there.
It
That
does,
there's going to,
doesn't it? Yeah,
like there's more room in there for the blue to
yeah.
spread
Oh,
because,
but
and the
that's because
rind, yeah, it's got that sort of slightly bacterial, sticky
yeah,
orange.
wash grinding sort of thing.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
again, I find enticing.
yeah. I am definitely enticed by the appearance of this cheese.
Yeah,
I would
me
go
too.
7.5 easily,
7.5.
Yeah,
unless you think even more. Maybe, yeah, yeah. What do you think, Ruth?
yeah. Yeah,
Generous
I
enough
mean,
or more?
maybe an 8. Would you go an
I
8?
was, I'm happy to go 8 with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Let's go 8 because I
I,
think it looks very enticing. I want to
I
get
do
in there.
love seeing a bit of orangey brown on the back of a cheese like
I
that.
do as well. Yeah, and I think that's related to experience, isn't it? So when you
Yeah,
have a cheese that's got
yeah,
that sticky bacterial
yeah,
rind, it often follows through with really great flavors and
definitely.
textures. So,
It's yeah, and the appearance, the texture rather, even just cutting it is what you said. That higher
yeah,
moisture,
yeah.
very smooth. Oh yeah, we're doing aroma first, aren't
So I do aroma.
we? Yeah. It's got biscuits.
Yeah,
There's quite a bit of ammonia.
there is a bit of ammonia, and maybe that's the payoff for the higher moisture, you know?
I mean, it has to be, doesn't it? And it's quite floridly blue, which
Yeah,
means it's producing ammonia. So I don't think I've got a
yeah,
problem with it.
yeah. I think the trouble with scoring the aroma before we do flavouring away is can't tell yet if the ammonia is going to be a problem or not.
Yeah,
Um, and very possibly it isn't going to be a problem, but maybe it
yeah.
is. I don't really know.
So should we give it a 7, 7.5 for aroma?
Yeah.
Where do you
Vicky, what did
think
we
I?
give the last one for aroma?
The
Is there
last
any chance?
7.
Yeah,
Uh,
7.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I think I wouldn't want to give it more than that one.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Yeah.
with that.
So you happy with 7?
Defo. Yeah.
Yeah. Texture is looking very exciting before I've
Very.
tried.
Yeah, I like cutting it. I like the way the knife goes through very cleanly.
Yeah. It's kind of
Um,
going, it's like going through cold butter, isn't it? It's got
it
that sort of
is,
lovely.
yes, good, good description. Which is, it feels really Goldilocks.
Mhm.
It's funny because I feel like I have to eat some to have the final experience of texture, and then I get involved in the flavor as well.
It's all tied together, isn't it?
Mm.
Texture's beautiful.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Mm.
Definitely an 8,
Mm.
um, or more. I mean, I can't fault it. It could be at
Mm.
8.5 or
Yeah, why not?
yeah.
Okay, and then taste.
So, taste, I can't help thinking I might have enjoyed it even more slightly younger
Yeah,
because the blue is
it's quite hefty.
very prominent, isn't it?
It's very prominent, and that thing you're saying about aroma, the ammonia is there
Hmm.
in the flavour, and I just wish that was a little bit further back.
Yeah,
I thought I would taste more flavours from looking at that orange rind.
yeah.
I'd say like 6.5, maybe 7.
I mean, I'd be happy with the 7 because even
Okay.
though the blue is quite prominent,
Mm,
it's not gritty,
no, no, it's
it's
not.
not too piquant. It's
Yeah,
just a little bit prominent, but just because I feel like the cheese where there isn't blue is going to be delicious as well. And because
yes.
we're getting so much less of that, I'm kind of missing that balance a little bit.
I think you're right, and I do get sort of hints of the sweetness and biscuitiness, the other flavours that I want. Yeah,
Mm.
and I also think, I mean, I find this one I was judged. I think normal human beings, the public, whatever they're called, civilians, would enjoy that a lot, and it would do
Yeah,
well.
definitely.
So that's
No,
currently the highest scoring cheese
is
currently.
it?
Good.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair enough.
I'm happy with that, Ruth. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Okay.
That's on what's
So
0.
1104.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Eating too much.
Get a clean knife. Sorry, I should clean my knife off camera, shouldn't I? I'm not I'm not seasoned at this. Right. So what do we got? This one?
1104, did you say?
1104.
Good.
Yeah.
That's right.
So slightly well, quite a firm looking cheese. Quite kind of firm to the touch.
Yeah.
Which is sort of again making that blue very much stick in the piercing lines, isn't it?
It's harder for it to penetrate, isn't it?
Yeah. Rind is healthy. A little bit dry, but
Yeah. I'm perfectly happy with the rind. I like the consistent colour and texture. There's no wet patches.
no.
If it might look a bit dry, but I think when you touch it, you still feel some moisture in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and it's done a job of protecting the rest of the cheese, I guess.
Yeah.
I do have. I mean, it's interesting. The blue hasn't totally penetrated everywhere, but in there's that thing in one part of it, it's quite well distributed.
Mm-hmm.
We do have this little brown mark.
Yeah. And I've got a little bit of mite at the bottom here.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of incursion into the cheese.
Yeah.
Which is, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
I don't mind it too much, like in a 12-month-old cheddar or something. I think that's fair enough. You've had 12 months on the shelves.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's blooming hard to keep the mites away for that long, but this cheese is very unlikely to be that old. So I would prefer not to see mite incursion in the cheese that I imagine is quite a lot younger.
Yeah. I don't know if that brown mark is the end of an iron hole
Okay.
or
In which case we should be kind, shouldn't we?
Yeah. I kind of want to taste it. I'm just going to.
What's your appearance score?
Score and appearance will get told off.
5?
5, yeah.
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 It's not quite as beautiful.
No.
It's a Romanex, isn't it?
Yeah.
But of course,
so I think this claimed goatiness, didn't it?
Yes.
Because I'm certainly getting goatiness on the nose.
Certainly goatee. It's all right.
Yeah.
You
getting anything other than goatee? Are you getting any?
No, not really.
Me neither.
Just kind of that.
Yeah.
It's not hugely complex.
Yeah.
It's not in any way horrid.
No.
It's fine. I just would maybe like there to be more.
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it? It's quite firm, so it's lower moisture, so it's probably less volatile in terms of aroma, but I would maybe go 5 for that as well.
Yeah. Me too. Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
And texture.
I mean, I celebrate its firmness. Quite fun. Still moist. It's not dried out.
Mm.
There's something in that.
Not loving the mouthfeel.
No. It's a little bit rubbery.
It's a little bit rubbery.
Yeah.
And the blue, you can see sort of around the piercing holes.
Yeah.
It's quite chewy.
Yeah.
So, the cheesemaker makes a choice, don't they? And it's up to them what they make. For me, I would like it to be a little bit less firm and a little bit less rubbery because I think it doesn't lend itself so well to being blue because you can't really get that distribution of blue through the curds because the curds are quite kind of bouncy and supple and tight. So we're not kind of getting that ability for the blue to wander through. So you get those sort of two very specific things, don't you? The kind of slightly rubbery cheese and the slightly chewy mold.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I think
um,
I agree, and I like that way of putting it because you're trying to make a blue cheese and it should distribute. And I'm also noticing that if right around the blue, it's a
mhm,
different colour. It's sort of markedly softer
yeah,
because it has broken down, but that
yeah,
breakdown's not been able to spread
yeah,
as much.
yeah.
Is this
So
moving out of five and into fourishness? Or
4.5.
yeah, I'd go 4.5.
Yeah. Um, and then the flavour, I think, is quite hard to dissociate the flavour from
It is a bit.
everything else that's going on
It's yeah,
because the blue isn't distributing, you can't
yeah.
sort of get those lovely blue flavours.
No, I'd like the blue to be doing more to the cheese,
Yeah, I would
which
too.
is what you said.
Mm.
And I'm fascinated by it. I mean, I think there's just something I'd like to say that's nice about this is that it's not too goaty.
Yeah,
And I
it's
think
clean.
that's
It's not
like
really goat, is it?
good handling of the milk and of the goats.
Yeah.
Um, and also for the texture, just to say that as a hard goat's cheese, it's really hard to make. It's a hard
Mhm.
road to hoe, and it's good that it's not super dry and bitter. So I
Yeah,
think that, to give the praise where it's due, I just wish that there was more
absolutely.
of everything. So I'd be
Hmm.
4.5 for the flavour too, really. Or five
Yeah.
maybe just because I'd say a five.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Because I do think that it's skillful to make clean goat's cheese.
Yeah,
I just want it to do more things.
yeah, yeah. I think that's fair enough. Um,
1105.
okay. Um, I am incredibly embarrassed that I've forgotten to bring my charger over. I might just have to ask somebody to bring me a charger. I'm so sorry.
We
That's
can,
okay.
we can pause for a second if you want to go and get it.
Is that okay? I'm so just looking where my
We're going to do 1105 now.
105. Lovely. Okay. So we got the same cheese.
Yeah, it's colossal, isn't it? And
It's unusual, isn't it? It's
yeah,
a it's a,
I'm wondering what this is. I might be able to guess, but I'm not going to say. But
it's a
it's
surprising height, isn't it?
a
You don't
surprising height. Yeah, and I
cheese is
also
often shorter or taller.
it's tall. It's well tall.
Mm.
Which is funny because it's tall and complete.
Yes, exactly.
Obviously, yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. And the
Mhm.
blue's interesting again. It's a lighter color.
Yeah, pale
Um,
curd, pale
yeah,
blue
pale
veining.
curd and pale blue. It's interesting, isn't it? It's really fascinating looking cheese. I'm also, it was in cling film and the rind's
Yeah,
quite wet.
yeah.
I kind of don't mind because A, it was in cling film, and B, I
Hmm.
don't know how I know this, but I feel as if this is the kind of cheese where it won't mind.
Okay. Oh,
Daft. Do you know what I
music
mean? It's like it's
towards.
sort of moist anyway or something.
Yeah,
I'm not.
it's sort of a little. I feel like the moisture on the rind might be going a little bit mushy as it
Yeah,
goes
I'm
into
with you
the
on that.
paste.
Yeah, and I get it. Yeah, that's a good point. As it enters the paste,
Yeah, there might
it
be a
having
little.
been. Yeah, there's a lot of moisture on the rind,
There's a lot of
which
moisture on the rind.
can't all come from cling film.
No, I think not. Um, so that troubles me slightly, you
Yeah.
know,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and
This is.
sort of potential for a little bit of kind of browning at the rind because of,
There is a bit, and mine has ever so slightly browned at the rind.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I do. I see that. I like the complexity that on the back there's some white,
yeah,
there's different molds and
yeah,
perhaps material rind. And
yeah,
I like if I look at that, I think the dryness is pretty good even under the cling film. but I think I agree with you. I mean, I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah,
Uh,
it definitely looks interesting, doesn't it?
doesn't it? Yeah. And I feel like it's the sort of cheese that is meant to be quite high in moisture for a
Yep.
incoat. So
Hmm.
I would say like 7.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I feel like we've scored some things at 7 that were maybe a little bit more attractive than that. So I
Okay,
might
then
say
maybe
6.5.
I'm happy with that. That's good.
Yeah.
I couldn't do this on my own. I'd go mad. It's so helpful having someone. And Ruth and I have done quite a lot of judging together, and I think we're quite well calibrated. Is that?
Yes.
I
Yes, I
like
think
that.
we are.
Yeah. Um. Good.
I'm going
I'm going to
right
cut into it.
into the middle to see
Yeah.
what I get. Ooh, nice aroma.
Yeah. It
A
is.
little bit piquant.
Yeah. I mean, that is. I feel like that's the most complex so far that I've had.
Mm. Yeah,
The
I do
most
too.
inviting.
Yeah,
Yeah. And also balanced. It's still clean.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Really
definitely.
none at
Yeah,
all. Very good.
yeah,
Quite.
really bright.
Yeah. Bright, exciting,
Yeah,
faultless. Eight,
yeah.
8.5 even.
Yeah, why not 8.5? Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, it's enticing.
It is enticing, and it's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Um.
Mm.
The texture's very comforting.
Mm, definitely. Yeah, lovely
I
and
like.
fondant.
Yeah. And then it does that thing of melting away
Mm,
rather than sticking around. A
yeah,
bit like a good dinner guest.
yes. But I
But
think it doesn't melt away too quickly.
no,
You know,
no.
there's a good sense of, you know, having something to get through, but it
Yeah,
not
yeah,
being
yeah, yeah.
really
I like
chore.
that.
An enjoyable, an
Mm.
enjoyable little journey you have to go on. So texture,
I score that quite high too.
mm, me too.
8?
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just my palate. I'm still like, I wanted this to be even more exciting than it is in the flavour.
I think there's a lot going on.
There
Um,
is, yeah,
um, for me, there is a slight mustiness to it, just slight
yeah.
kind of deadening down to it.
Mm.
Um, but maybe that's just the nature of a piece of cheese that's, had to be cut and wrapped and,
A cling
you
film for a
know,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because we're very lucky. We get to taste cheese as soon as it's
yeah,
cut,
yeah,
nearly all the
yeah,
time, don't we?
yeah. No,
And
definitely.
that's actually not the general
I mean, there
experience of
might
most
be a
people.
longer argument here for another place about how we have the cheeses because I feel like, but yes, you always have to account for that. We try and account for what we think is wrapping and what we think is made, don't we?
Yeah,
I'm just going
exactly.
to cut a bit more into it.
So I think because it is a very high moisture cheese, and
Yeah,
because there was that little sense of potential for a little bit of mushiness, I think I'm getting a little kind of dampening of the flavor. Um, but I think there's a lot going on. I
it
think,
is. It's very complex. Yeah, I think I've got to lay off wanting everything to be Stilton and just stop with that. This is, it's very bright,
really bright.
and I like that. And there's a flavour like something, and I can't quite say it. Maybe it's pistachio. There's something really quite interesting.
Mm-hmm. And it's definitely got that sort of, that kind of fruity fermented kind
Yes,
of
Yeah,
esters and
esters.
little, yeah, that,
And
which is a lovely thing to have in a blue cheese.
it is, isn't it?
Mm,
And it's also got some of that um funny tongue numbing thing,
yeah,
the citron
yeah,
pepper thing.
yeah,
It's got a
definitely.
leg. This really, you can't fault it, can you? It's exciting.
Mhm. It's exciting, but I still would like slight more freshness to it. I do feel there's a little bit of a dampening down of it.
Is that,
Um,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
something about the moisture that
yeah,
is going just a little bit, yeah, just a little bit musty, a little bit,
mm,
the sort of, the sort of fermented apple skins and fermented grape
yeah,
skins when you walk into a winery.
yeah,
There's that sort of stuff that's lovely, but it's gone over a little bit, just a little bit
yeah.
over fermenty. None of that is to say I would score it low. I think it's very good. I'm just kind of imagining the
What it
perfect
could be.
example of this
Yeah, yeah,
cheese.
yeah,
And I think
yeah,
I think this cheese could be just slightly better.
yeah.
Um, but it's still very, very good.
Is that like the difference between 8 and 8.5, or 8 and 7.5, or where are you?
I'm hovering on the 7.5, 8 thing. Where are
I
you
would say,
landing?
7.5. Then I think that's partly my consciousness that the flavor is weighted.
Hmm.
That it's like if I was to
Maybe I shouldn't have
compare,
told you that actually.
should have told me that. No, I think just
Yeah.
in terms of, I think its texture's kind of doing slightly better than its flavor, so I want to reflect that.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's fantastic. It's. I just want it to be even more so.
Yes, I feel like it has all the potential to be
Yeah,
even better, and that
yeah,
that slightly better cheese is sitting in my head. Um,
yeah,
and I sort of want it to reach there.
yeah,
And I do think it's something about the moisture control. I think
yeah,
it's something about the moisture control on the rind, which is just sort of permeating into the paste, this just sort of slightly deadened
yeah,
tone to flavors that are all beautiful.
yeah.
Um, but they've just been flattened a little bit, I think.
I'm with you. Is that why? Maybe why that browning is going in a bit around the edge somewhere on
Maybe,
it? Yeah,
possibly.
yeah.
So I think I'm on a 7.5.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That makes it the leading cheese so far by
right now the leading cheese. Okay.
Good.
a quarter of a point.
A quarter of a point. God, we're silly, aren't we?
Is it? Surely half a point. Oh,
So we haven't done any quarters, have we?
It's that 34.25, this one is.
okay. Oh, of course. Yes.
Okay.
There's
So
no stewards to clean up after the Virtual Cheese Awards. I hope there's no stewards watching. I really appreciate you if there are.
I think potentially when we get to the end, I might
Yeah.
want to retry that against the one that's second to it at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy with those two to be the top, I
Yeah.
think. So are we on 1106?
I am.
One
Yes.
zero zero oh six, yeah.
This one here. We got the same cheese.
Don't know why I'm showing you that. Yes, we do.
I'll just give it a little clean up. So I'm guessing it's a foil wrap again. We've got very little rind
Yeah.
going on. Obviously, a choice. So no reason to mark down
No.
the rind because that's obviously, how it wants to be presented. It's a high moisture blue, going with that kind of European style of
Yeah.
how to mature it. And just
I
giving
mean,
a little clean because it's suffered a little bit.
yeah. If you wanted to make again like even more Roquefort, even the other one into that other natural rinded one, was a
Yes.
bit dried out on the rind, and this has been allowed
Yes.
to stay more moist.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at the paste, I mean, quite a lot of blue going on.
Yeah,
Good mixture of lines of blue through the piercing
yeah.
holes, but distribution as well coming through the paste.
It's very well distributed, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's sort
Yeah,
of one of the best we've seen in terms of that. I mean,
yeah.
it is quite high moisture, so that's been more doable.
I'm going to get right into the middle again because I think that gives me a better chance to see what's going on. Oh, that's really rather lovely right in the middle.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's
Um,
really rather lovely. Lovely little pockets.
yeah. What I love that is that, like you said, there's a variation of sort of lines and pockets and dots.
Mm, yeah.
Is this quite a high score for? There's cheeses I thought were prettier in an
Yes.
objective sense, but then this is doing everything it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's tricky, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
of course I love a beautiful natural rind just because it's so
yeah,
blim and attractive. But
yeah,
it's only appropriate where the style of cheese is appropriate. This
yeah,
style of cheese, the rind isn't a very beautiful thing. So I think you have to judge it on cut surface, don't you?
yeah.
That's where your judgment has to come from.
Well, and also
Um,
like the rind is sort of, it's not as pretty as some of them, but it is exactly that
yeah,
foil wrapped,
yeah. It's still
thing. I
meets
mean,
purpose, isn't it?
yeah,
We don't want form over function, so
no,
it's doing what it should, and the cut surface I think is beautiful.
it's really nice.
Um,
Yeah, 8,
yeah,
cool. Yeah, it's fascinating. And oh, it's aroma next. Is it texture
oh
next?
sorry, aroma.
Yeah,
I forgot aroma.
yeah.
It's good aroma.
It is. It is. It's
Slightly
got. It's
boozy.
balanced. It's slightly boozy. Yeah. I
Mm,
mean, I definitely want to eat it. It's got
yeah.
some of that maltiness.
Mm,
I'm keen.
yeah, fruity as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean 7.5, 8.
Yeah. I'd go 7.5. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Better be good then, isn't it? You
Yeah,
always get that.
let's hope.
No pressure.
I know you get your
Uh,
hopes up, don't you? You get all excited.
you do. You do. And the text is really interesting. I love the way after I've cut through the knife, it's like marble or something. It's got a really
Mm,
uniform texture, like firm, fondant.
mm. I think the texture is very good as well.
Yeah. It's ever so slightly firmer and drier than I thought it would be, but
Hmm.
that's not a problem for me.
Yeah.
It's a mighty cheese.
Mm.
I think right on my
I've got a
nose.
lot to say.
Yeah, it does have a lot to say, doesn't it? That's like the me of cheese. Um, so
The
what do we
texture,
say about texture?
well, it is kind of clinging to my teeth a bit
Hmm.
and slightly drying my tongue a little bit.
I would like to have been just a little bit more fondanty.
Hmm.
6.5.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flavour is gone. Sorry.
Well, I think the flavour is going to be quite tricky.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if we're on the same page or not.
I really needed
It's
a drink of water. It's kind of
got a huge personality.
it's huge. I mean, you've got this like John Throp. He's got a lot of personality, and you just need to like it, and I do. So I love it. There's lots of him. I
Yeah,
hope he's there. I don't. I don't think he'd mind that.
it's definitely, it's the life and soul of the party, isn't it? It's that very loquacious person who Does a lot of chatting.
It's a bit,
Um,
I don't know, like I've spent the whole session going, oh, I would like things to be a bit more. And I feel like I'd like this to draw its horns in a bit.
I it's going a bit too far for me.
Kind of is. I think you and
Hmm.
I both like balance a lot, don't we?
Hmm. Yeah.
Balance and restraint.
I think I think you just
I
have to
like
score high
I like
because
all the things that happen at first,
mhm,
and then it goes kind of a bit more mental.
it goes a little bit wild, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how to say what you could do in the make with that.
Mm.
I don't- It's complicated. It's like the first half of my experience is quite eightish, and
Yeah,
then it's a bit more 70, even 6.5 by the finish.
I think the finish is a little bit harsh.
Yeah,
I think there's an awful lot along the journey to like, and then I think at the end it just leaves you with a little bit of a harsh,
from the back of my throat.
yeah,
Yeah,
slightly burning.
yeah.
But
So
there's so
what do
much
you
that's
think?
good along the way that I
It's
think you
really
have to
difficult,
score.
isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, you kind of want to score the beginning, the middle, and the end differently.
yeah,
Um, as you can only score everything, I think it has to be quite high because there's so much to like, and then you have to dial it back a bit because of the finish. So what does
yeah.
that leave? Kind of 7.5 again.
7.5.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not going to beat the others yet, is it? Um,
I,
I
you
want
haven't
to
scored it
celebrate.
that it would, Vicky.
No,
No,
it's
no.
second,
I
third,
think that's fine then.
third.
I think that's fine then because it's a very accomplished cheese, isn't it? So I'd
It's
want
also a
it to score
thrilling
well.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think mm,
quite overcome. But a lot of fun. Again, I think it would, if you were tasting it out on the counter, I think people would be really excited by it.
mm.
Next one's 1127. We've got 7 cheeses left, so about
How
just
are we doing?
to think of. Yeah, I did that one, two, three,
Okay, so
10.
make sure we're on the same one. Oh, a bit of water after that last.
Hmm. I was thinking of whiskey to calm things down a bit.
Or a glass of wine.
Mm.
It's making me really
I would
hungry, actually. I think I'm going to have to go and watch the other one now because I wanted some blue cheese now.
have. Good.
Okay, I just calmed
Um,
everything down with a cracker. So,
um, yeah, I mean, cheese like that. The other fun thing is you wonder what you would put with it.
mm,
Need something, that would stand up to it.
yeah,
Mm.
something very sweet, probably.
Yeah, well, I was thinking barley wine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had barley wine.
Oh, we're gonna have to sort that out. It just means really strong beer, but it's beers that are
Okay.
like 11%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. Well, we should have to. I've referred to it as research. We should do some research. Shouldn't we?
Absolutely. I think
Yeah,
it's quite important.
definitely.
So, it's
So that's sure is Purdy. Um,
a very
that's
handsome double, isn't it?
classic distribution of blue
Hmm. Yeah,
everywhere I look. The best one so far for that.
yeah. Beautiful.
It
But,
is.
a few, a little bit of evidence of the piercing needles, but
Yeah,
lots of really beautiful distribution through the curves.
yeah,
Colour looks rather gorgeous.
it is, isn't it?
That sort
Yeah.
of lovely deep navy blue
Yes.
molds against that
Yeah.
lovely buttery curd. Rind looks kind of enticingly rippling and rustic, doesn't it?
Does, isn't it? I love you. Yeah, you're right. That's the other thing I look for is the ripple. And under the
Mm,
white mold, there's bits of the orange.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, this is like very eightish or even
yeah,
8.5ish. It's one of
yeah,
the best appearing cheeses we've got. Would you go
yeah.
as far as 8.5?
Could do. I mean, I wonder if I'd go 8 just because there's a little bit of kind of cracking
Yeah,
under the rind on my piece.
yeah. And there is a little bit of browning.
Yeah.
Okay, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, smells really nice. Mm, mm. It's,
Oh
lots of
yeah.
Marmite and lots of
Yeah,
Marmite.
definitely. So much more savoury than anything we've smelled so
Yes.
far.
Yeah, with bits of biscuit,
Mm.
really cracking.
Yeah. A little bit meaty as well.
Yeah,
You know,
cheese is
sort of
amazing, isn't it?
pate type
Yeah,
meatiness.
yeah.
So
It's amazing that you can be so enthusiastic about cheese after eating so much of it.
quite impressive, isn't it?
Yeah,
So aroma,
high
because it's
for
quite
me.
complex, it's got to be high, isn't it?
Yeah, 8 or 8.5 even. I
Yeah.
mean, it's hard. I mean, I don't know how much better it could be. It
Yeah.
could even be quite 9ish for me because I'm not really sure what else it could do.
Yeah.
What do you think? 9? If I, having just cut it, if I was to be really, really picky, I'm getting a little bit of ammonia nose, but I mean, I don't know if that's just me trying to sound more objective. I'd like to give it a 9.
So we're thinking
Aroma.
9.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Hard to see how it could be better.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And I think as well, it's just so very different from all of the others. The
Yeah,
others have sort of been dialed up and dialed down of
yeah,
quite similar aromas,
yeah,
whereas this is just bringing in completely new ones, isn't it?
definitely. It is, isn't it? It's been the most distinctive so far.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Great.
Yeah, happy with that.
Yeah.
So,
On to texture.
It's funny when they're hard blue cheeses, but fondant is the word that we use most of the time. But I guess
mm,
that's what hard is in a blue.
mm, mm.
Mm.
That's gorgeous.
Mm. I can't fault that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
got the fondantness that you're looking for.
yeah,
It kind of it stays around for as long as it's welcome. You know,
yeah,
it it doesn't disappear too quickly,
yeah,
but it also melts away beautifully.
yeah. Really good. I mean, I would give that a 9 too.
Mhm.
I feel
Yeah,
like this is sweep the board, this cheese.
yeah.
The flavour is great.
Mm.
Um, I've got
Mm.
another thing that we haven't had from anything else yet, which is sort of barnyardy, just a bit. It's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
umami and it's got a bit of
yeah.
sweetness and bubblegum, but then it's got just a little edge,
Mm.
fluffy edge.
Mm. It's got the lovely maltiness,
Yeah,
and it's got like a really comforting warmth from the blue rather
it
than a
does,
kind
doesn't
of
it?
peppery
Yeah.
spiciness. It's like a rich warming.
Mm. Yeah. And there's still something kind of clean going through it, almost,
Mm.
when you talk about the boozy flavour, but like grape
Yeah.
juice or
Hmm.
barely fermented grape juice. That
Yeah.
I think of it as the flavours as like thin or thick. So this is thin,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
think of them as high or low. So it's like a
Hmm.
high,
Hmm.
yeah. Tying it
Yeah.
all together, I mean, I would unreservedly give that a 9 as well.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh,
Me too. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
standout, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. It does everything
yeah,
and it does it all at once. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's not one dimensional.
Does everything all at once. No, and it's true, isn't it? Because it like that one that was super interesting, but came and went in the flavours. Just it's just all there. Lovely
Yeah,
finish as well.
exactly.
I've got
Finish
just
is
some of
gorgeous.
the more approachable flavours in the finish.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm just haven't been able to associate label with cheese, so I'm putting them in a little circle around my coffee table. so that I know where they are if we have to do any comparison. God,
Yeah,
that was good.
that was beautiful.
Yeah.
So next one, 1143.
1143. There we go. Okay. So another annatto cheese. I'll just give it a little cleaning while you're.
I wonder if for the awards there should be standardized wrapping, like everything in wax paper and just wax paper.
It does
It would
make a
flatten
difference,
it
doesn't
out,
it?
wouldn't it? Yeah, because I mean, I can see where the cling films, the rind has got a bit sweaty under cling film because I can see the texture of the cling film on the cheese.
So the rind is interesting, isn't it? For
Yeah.
this style of cheese, I'm a little surprised by the rind. I've not seen that sort of dark,
It's quite
but
dark, yeah.
yeah, but also not. There's not much wrinkling, which is interesting,
No,
just because a lot of these cheeses of this sort of style, you get that sort of yeasty thing going first, which gives you the
yeah,
kind of wrinkling, and then the molds over the top. And this sort of
yeah,
seems to have gone through that journey a little bit less, doesn't it?
it does. I mean, exactly. It feels thinner.
Yeah,
Looking at
it's
it,
quite a thin
it's been,
rind on it, isn't there?
has it been brushed? What I thought was the texture of cling film. I just
Maybe.
wonder if this has been brushed and maybe that is
Yeah,
to some degree deliberate.
yeah. So you've got kind of bristle lines on
Yeah,
there,
bristle
and maybe
marks. Yeah,
that's trying to
but it
keep
is.
the mold
Yeah,
back.
keep it down a bit.
Yeah,
It's.
maybe.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
interesting.
it is interesting. It's not unattractive.
No, not at all.
It doesn't make me not want to eat it.
No.
I could say something nicer than that. I still want to eat it. I'm just a bit. It's a bit odd because I feel like you might have taken off some of that. What you say would give it that knobbly
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
texture.
I'm sort of surprised just because um, I find that the rind on this style of cheese is something that's quite enticing to me. Like I kind of
Yeah,
want to see the journey of its maturation, of kind
yeah.
of whether it's been quite wrinkly and bacterial and sticky and moldy. You know, what are the things it's been going through? And I kind of can't quite read the story of this cheese, which is not necessarily a criticism. I'm just surprised, is all.
That's what I
But
like watching series. That's just.
sorry,
Oh, that was just such a beautiful concept. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm a bit ambivalent, but and but when you have that kind of knobbly rind, it's been doing things to the cheese, isn't it?
yes, yeah,
Hence the story of its maturation, like you say.
yeah,
Uh,
yes.
will be interesting to see
But
because I mean, distribution-wise, it's looking great.
it looks like a very healthy cheese. You know,
It does,
it
doesn't it?
looks
Yeah,
it looks like it's been well cared for, or it looks like the blue has developed well.
yeah.
Um, it looks good.
What
There's a
score?
lot of blue,
There's a lot of blue.
lot, but
I'm going
yeah.
to go
I
into
mean,
the
I'd
middle
rather
just to see.
have a lot of well-distributed blue than not very much poorly.
Yeah,
It's looking good. Seven-ish, 7.5.
7.5.
I
I
would happily say that. Yeah,
think it
yeah,
looks good.
yeah,
I think it looks good.
7.5.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aroma's quite savoury, quite malty.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some of that nice maltiness,
Mm.
and it's a bit musty in a way that I like an old church,
Hmm.
not the muted.
Yeah, exactly.
The ammonia was there. It sort of gassed off a bit as I. It's still got a bit of that, when it slightly feels it's that sensation in the back of your nose,
Hmm.
which I guess is from there's lots of blue.
Hmm. But I don't think excessively so.
No, no.
I think I'd be on the old 7.5 world.
I think 7.5. Because it like if I think of a lot of them have had an aroma that's from more like perfectly acceptable,
Yes.
whereas this is makes me go,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so.
So it's just interesting on the knife. It looks like it's quite crumbly,
Hmm.
but it's still quite creamy to but squeezing it. Hmm. Hmm.
I think the texture is very good as well.
I like it. It's on that
Mm.
chewier end of the fondanty.
Yeah, but
Very
not
good.
rubbery.
No.
You know, it's got a bit of bite to it. There's a little bit of resistance, but only in a good way.
Is it because the texture of the previous cheese we really went for,
Mm.
is it as good as that? I mean, I
Um,
kind of feel it is like in its own way, or do you feel a bit,
Maybe around about an 8.
yeah, I'd give it an 8. Yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, I think it's a slightly different texture to the previous one, but I think that's right.
Yeah.
A little bit more territorialish.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Which for this, shape and size of cheese is,
Seems really correct.
yeah, exactly. Appropriate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8.
And it's, yeah,
Yeah, I
8.
think so.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Taste.
flavor is, it's very clean up front.
Hmm.
It's quite tingly. I
Hmm.
mean, I feel sorry for it after that. It's a hard act to follow after that,
It is a
though.
hard act to follow. It feels a little bit dampened, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? It's just not
Mm-hmm.
quite. It's not
Hmm.
going to 11,
Yeah.
but
But everything that's there is good.
yeah, 7 or more. I mean,
I think
maybe it's
I think
better. Maybe
seven's about what were you going to say?
I was going to say maybe it's better than that, but 7.5.
7.5. Yeah. To
Okay,
me, there's just a slight deadening in the blue.
I know what you mean.
Just
Yeah,
just sort of feels like the blue is just heading over a little bit
yeah,
into a slightly kind of flatter
yeah,
flavor.
yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah. I think 7.5.
I want to do that Mons formation course. I'm not sure I'm clever enough, but I'd like to give it a go. I think that it would dig down into some of the real nitty gritty that we're wondering about.
Think it takes a lifetime.
But yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's not like I want to know. You know, one of my favourite bits about all this is that the sort of mystery of it.
I want to know everything.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, yeah.
You're lying.
It's
Yeah, you want to know everything, but the joy is knowing that you never will.
it's kind of paradoxical, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
always more to learn.
yeah. I think cheese is fractal.
Yeah, exactly.
Offered my wife a nice dinner tonight.
Okay, so
Right.
1166.
Can you tell something about a cheese before you've unwrapped it? Do you think?
When it's in wax paper and you can't see
I
through it.
used I used to be able to tell the difference between a piece of Keen's and a piece of Monty's if they were wrapped. I don't know how, but I did. Now, why do you wrap it in wax paper and cling film?
That is an
Don't do
unusual
it.
choice.
Yeah,
It's
I
an
think you
unusual choice.
don't need to.
So you're there nearly?
Uh, Start without me. I'll be with you in a tick.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll just do a little bit of talking about the rind. It's
Please.
got
Yeah.
quite a sort of firm, natural rind. I've got a
Mm.
little squishy bit in the corner where my finger just went through, but on the whole, quite a sort of firm, natural rind. Big old kind of bit out of the rind there, which is kind of surprising me.
That sort of ding, you mean? I've got a
Yeah,
ding there. Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Do you think that's just the
Yeah.
curves, or have they
It's,
cracked
it
something into
looks
it?
like
Or
it got a bang and then it healed over,
okay,
I think.
um,
I find the rind quite interesting and that I'm hard pressed to classify it. I wonder if it's been brined, but quite a lot, so that
mhm.
it's really developed a protective
Yeah,
rind on it.
I have got this slight soft spot where it's been pierced. There's
Yeah.
just a little where the needle's gone through.
Oh,
That little bit of rind has gone a bit soft.
yeah.
Maybe it's
I
just
think there's a bit
affected
there.
the moisture.
Yeah, there's a soft bit here.
Hmm.
The colour's a
Um,
bit uneven on the in the paste. I've got
sorry,
these. The colour is a bit
yes,
uneven. I've got
a
these
little bit of
brown bits.
discoloration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that uneven salting?
I don't know.
So on that side.
Yeah,
So that's not
it's
gorgeous.
it's not gorgeous. It sort of feels like there's been a little bit of kind of damage done to the
Yeah.
curd by
Yeah.
the sort of by the air getting in, or
Yeah. I think those brown patches are more likely to be that, aren't they? Because they're more around the edge.
yeah, exactly. I think it would be fair to say that the bits that are troubling us slightly are not because of wrapping.
Yeah.
You can kind of
Yeah.
see that there's just some slightly kind of troubling little patches in the curd.
Yeah.
Um, and I think you got to mark it down a little bit for that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Um,
Five?
sorry?
No. Is it five or is that even a bit under average?
I think a five is okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
One
know,
thing that I'm almost fond of is the curve on the top, which
mhm.
might be from how it's sat on. I just quite like it in a sort of rustic sense.
You just
Um,
like its quirkiness.
I like its quirkiness. Exactly. Yeah, I think five is good.
Yeah. I'm just going cutting right into the middle just to get aroma. Yeah, just going back to the appearance, that's like a freshly cut bit, and we are getting a little bit of damage in there. So it's
Same there.
it's not
Yeah.
to do with wrapping.
No, definitely. That is very much from, I think that's come from the rind in.
Yeah. And
If,
maybe it's to do with that firmness of paste again, that it's sort
yeah,
of struggling to the blues are kind of struggling to influence the curd around them.
yeah,
Because the curd around them is quite firm. So you're not sort of getting that breakdown of
mm,
proteins and fats that you kind of want to happen um, because the curd's a bit resistant. So it's not sort of allowing that to happen, maybe.
that makes
However,
sense.
I think the aroma is pleasant.
Yeah, it is pleasant, isn't it? Yeah. Um, I mean, I'm a sucker for the biscuity malty
Yeah,
runner and blue cheese, so I'm already like, oh, that's nice.
yeah, exactly.
Very nice. It's slightly sweet and no
Yeah,
sharpness or ammonia. In that, that's quite high for me.
yeah.
I'd be quite
Seven
nice.
inch or more.
Yes, seven. I'd say
Hmm.
7.5.
Yeah.
There is a bit that so there was a wet patch on the rind, and
Hmm.
where I cut that was there, and then when I cut that's quite discoloured
Mm.
in there.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell on this screen, but it's not an iron hole. It's just a wet bit.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a little bit of problematic moisture control, isn't there?
But yes, we said 7.5 for Rome, didn't we?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Texture.
I like the softness of the paste, but then
I
I'm
like
getting a
it.
little grittiness, a little
Yeah,
sandiness.
it's a bit gritty.
What do you think?
I like the grittiness in that. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to, but I quite like it. I'm seduced by the flavour. I really enjoyed the flavour, so I'm finding this hard to pull apart. It's an
Mm.
interesting flavour. It's kind of hard and soft.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't have a fight with it. What is the grittiness?
I think it's sort of the blue mold dying a little bit.
Okay, right.
I could be wrong about that. And if I am, I
Believe
apologize.
in crunchy spores.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got no fight with it. I feel quite positive. I just feel quite sevenish about it.
For
About
texture.
the texture.
Yeah. But if you want to knock off a half point, you're welcome to.
I would like to, if you'll let me, because
I will.
the
You do more.
sandiness
Yeah,
is
you do
is
more affinage than
definitely
me.
off-putting for me.
Sure. I mean, you
Um,
can have. What did we say? It could be 6 if you think that's more appropriate.
um, Personally, I would quite like that.
Let's
I
do that
quite,
then.
yeah, but I think the
Yeah.
flavour can compensate for that.
Because yeah, I mean, I'm struggling because I did really quite like it actually,
Hmm.
and I was a bit surprised when I saw the soft patches on the rind and the slightly darker bits. I thought, oh, geez,
Hmm.
they're not going to be that great, but it's got a nice
Yeah.
sweetness.
Uh,
It's
Honestly, the flavour is significantly more
mm,
enjoyable than the appearance led me to think it might be. I think the
yeah,
flavour is really, very good.
it's really nice. I mean, it's so close to being amazing. I think
Hmm.
that it does just get a bit harsh in the finish.
Yeah. Closer to the rind
Yeah,
is a bit less enjoyable, I think.
yeah, that would make
You get
sense.
you're getting a lot less well, the texture is
Mm,
heading towards rubbery at the rind. And
mm,
obviously that's fair enough because the blue is breaking down everything
yeah,
towards the center and it's not at the rind. So that's fair enough. I shouldn't mark it down for that. Um, what are you thinking? You're really quite enthusiastic about the flavour, aren't you?
yeah. At least, I mean, 7.5.
Mhm. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah,
I think it's got a nice balance to it. There's a lovely savouriness to it. There's a little
I
bit
like.
of caramel
Yeah,
in there.
so it's definitely is like for complexity. I think it's one of the
Mm.
most complex cheeses we've had,
Mm.
and there are cheeses that have more brutality to them.
Yes.
This is, I think, yeah, I'd like to say 7.5. That's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
I
interesting
mean,
cheese.
yeah, it is, isn't it? Um,
Yeah,
I would I would love to see that texture different,
yeah,
and then that
yeah,
would really push it up for me.
defo.
Um, and those kind of wet patches, if
Yeah,
that could be sorted out, that would be
defo.
lovely.
Some of those darker bits that I think
Yeah,
are coming through from the rind. I think. Yeah,
yeah.
damn good cheese though.
Hmm.
Right, moving
Hmm.
to 1170.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to refresh
One
that
of
palette
that
a wee bit.
three on the table.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite hefty in the finish that last one.
Hmm.
4 cheeses to go.
4 cheeses to go. Okay, so another natural rind, little bit drier on the edge and wetter on the top and bottom. Um, Blue, not very well dispersed. Maybe that's a choice, so it's not necessarily a criticism, but
Yeah, it's quite
definitely.
good. I
Hmm.
mean, it's
Oh,
okay.
yours is more than mine, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, how does one? I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't fault that too much for that.
No,
I think
like I said,
it's interesting.
each cheesemaker makes a choice, don't they? So
Yeah,
some people are looking for very heavily blued, some people are looking
yeah,
lightly blued. That's
yeah.
all all levels are open, aren't they,
Do you think,
to
because,
enjoyment?
yeah, and when you get a cheese that is quite shallow like this, it's going to have more blue around the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't know why I think that seems suddenly counterintuitive to me, but
So like lead trouble by the sort of dampness, top and bottom, compared
yeah, yeah.
to the kind of
Is
firmer
that just
end.
enough turning?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of blue cheeses are matured on their sides, aren't they? Which
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
makes it very even all the way, top and bottom.
yeah.
My guess is that this one isn't, but
Hmm.
I don't know it, so I
I
don't know.
imagine this is quite a pie-shaped sort of a cheese by that
Hmm.
look of it,
Yeah.
rather than a cylinder. It's. I know what you mean. It's not wet. It's just slightly moister.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm getting around to is that
Hmm.
I'm not hugely enticed by the
Sure.
visual,
Yeah.
um, but I'm not saying it's faulty.
Right.
So
Is that a sort of 6 to 6.5 kind of feeling?
yeah, I think so. What do you think?
I mean, I would go 6.5 because I've got this fondness for it, and I don't know why. I just do, but there may not be any rationality in that.
You have to
I think
justify yourself.
it's quite territorialish.
Hmm. Okay.
Uh, I, I don't know. I'd go 6. I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. 6.
yeah.
All right.
I think I'm running out of smell.
Well, I think just it is a little bit shyer than some of the others,
Yeah,
but it's
that
got
is,
that
isn't it?
but it's got that lovely fruity,
Yes,
slightly ester.
yeah, more so than some of the others.
Mm.
I get
Yeah.
slightly grassy.
Hmm.
I mean, it's on the sort of gentle to inoffensive spectrum
Yes.
of aroma, isn't it? Which isn't going to bring it much above 6 or 6.5.
Yeah. I think it's very pleasant. So
Yeah,
why not? Why not 6.5? It's
great.
just a bit. It's just a bit timid. So
Yeah, it's funny the texture. This feels like a cooked curd or something. Quite
mm,
flexible,
yeah, yeah, quite bendy, isn't it?
bendy.
Pliable.
All politer ways of saying rubbery. It's a bit claggy for that.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely like you say. It's sort of a little bit elastic, a little bit supple, a little bit
Yeah.
pliable, but it's not. I'm not loving that. That's not something I'm
No.
kind of wanting from it.
No, I kind of think maybe it's an associational thing, but with that texture that in the rubbery spectrum, I don't really expect it to be a blue. So it's
Yes,
sort of
it's a
playing with my expectation a bit.
yeah. And honestly, I think it's struggling to take the blue is struggling to take
Yeah,
hold in this curd, isn't it?
yeah,
The
definitely.
influence of the blue is mm, well, I guess it's a game of where the needle is, it's
Yeah,
blue, and where the needle isn't, it's not blue. And that's like a tiny little piece there. And you
yeah,
can see the blue is very withheld to the area in which the piercing is done. And I think
definitely.
that's the nature of this texture, isn't it? That
Yeah.
it's
So
just
you can't
there's
really taste it actually so much. Like if you have a bit with very little blue, then it hasn't
Mhm.
flavor hasn't come in so much. So I
Mhm.
guess that's kind of a fault if we think that blue cheeses should spread around.
I think it's hard, isn't it? Because It's only your fault if the cheesemaker intended something different.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying something new, all power to you.
Yeah. I
I'm just
think
not.
there's
Cool.
two things, isn't there? There's what's the cheesemaker's intention, and did they
Yeah,
succeed in that?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
it's whether that intention is a good plan.
yeah.
You know, maybe some things aren't done so often because maybe they're just not such excellent marriages. You know,
Yeah.
that texture with blue is a slightly awkward marriage.
I
Um,
think the latter. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Even if you've decided to do something, you can still. Intention is good, but it might still not work out.
yeah. So
So
I
I think
think,
the. Boom.
well, I just think it's not unpleasant at all.
Yeah.
It's just not very exciting.
No.
And the sort of the marriage just isn't quite working of
Yeah.
the blue with the paste. So
5.5.
yeah,
5.5. Yeah. I mean, the flavour is not popping hugely for me either.
yeah.
Which
And
may be
where you
another
get the blue
function of that.
vein,
Yeah.
where you get the blue vein, it's just a little bit chewy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we happy?
Yeah. What did we say for flavour?
I think we said 5.5.
That
Yeah.
was put that down
Happy with that?
for texture.
Oh, that's texture. Yeah. I mean, I would say the same for
Sorry,
flavour.
I think the
Yeah.
same.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
fine.
You know, I think that's where it is. Okay, 3 to go. 177.
Yeah, 177.
So, got a little natural rind on it. Very attractive little markings from the mold that it's come out of. I think that looks rather pretty.
Yes. It does,
Um,
doesn't it? Yeah. I really
yeah.
like that. It's
Mm.
wetter on my tops and bottoms are wetter. Very wet on
Yeah, mine's
one
wetter
side,
on
a
one
lot
side.
wetter.
Yeah, mine
Um,
too.
that
It's always,
that's I think not, isn't that about turning that you've left it too long on one side for it to leak out of its
I would
bottom?
imagine so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would imagine so. Um, and so that's a little, it's got to come down a little bit for that, hasn't it? Um,
I do
the
love that the imprint of the rind.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really lovely. And
it
on
speaks to
the end it
something.
looks super healthy.
It
It's
does,
just that
doesn't it? Yeah,
slightly wetter side that's a bit
yeah,
troubling. I think you've got a lovely dispersal of the holes
definitely.
for the
Yeah,
the little
same.
pocket.
Yeah,
Um, and where you've got the blue in the piercing lines, they don't look like they've gone chewy. They still look
yeah,
nice and healthy.
yeah. It's a little bit uneven in the colouring, and I'm scraping it off, and I don't think it's just wrapping
Hmm.
or right. It's on this side, it's a bit more this dark around there, and a bit
Yeah,
around there.
I'm going
It's a
into
bit
the middle
uneven.
as well. Yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit. But I think on the whole, that's an attractive cheese.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Six and a
I
half.
think. Yeah, I mean, are you taking it down because of the damp bits and the?
I am a little bit. I mean, it's funny, like with the wet bottom,
Mm,
if the whole rind was like that, I would be like, oh, cool, it's a wet cheese. It's meant to be like that. There's a wash rindiness.
yeah,
It's just the fact that two sides are not. That's what's dropping it more for me a bit. It's just that.
yeah,
I just wonder what's gone on there.
yeah. Fair enough. So
Which,
6.5.
yeah,
Yep, fair enough.
yeah.
So quite
I mean, yeah,
farmyardy.
yeah. I feel like this is sheep or goat,
Yeah.
possibly goat. Oh, sheep rather, because
Oh, sheep. Well, oh, it's definitely something other than a cow.
Yes, in it. Yeah, we're sort of pale as well. I mean, yeah, it's they've all been, I think, bar one, really clean in the aroma.
Mm.
I do like cleanness in a cheese. I always celebrate it.
Yeah, but then I like a bit of barminess as well.
Oh, definitely. It's
A little bit silagey,
yeah,
rather than
yeah,
hay or straw.
yeah. And I do get that sort of slight ammoniac sensation up the back of my nose.
Yeah. So where's
I
that
think
putting it for you?
6.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the texture
Yeah.
seems exciting when I squeeze it.
Hmm.
Very exciting. Mm. But it's
Very
like a bit
gritty again.
unintegrated. Yeah, it's creamy but
Mm.
super gritty.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not over thrilled with that.
I'm no, I'm not a big fan of grittiness in a blue, I must admit.
No. And I think
Um,
also there's something about it being creamy and then sort of lumpy slash gritty underneath that. That
yeah. I'm gonna try a bit with less blue.
yeah,
Even where there isn't a lot of blue, there is a little sort of floweriness to the paste.
yeah, yeah. 5.
Hmm. Yeah, or I guess even 4.5 maybe. Is that
Yeah,
unkind? Maybe
I
it's
would
less.
go 4.5. It's a bit
Would you?
troubling. It's
Yeah,
making me slightly shiver.
yeah.
Um,
And sadly, I'm not loving the flavour either because I was really looking.
no,
I thought it
me
looked a
not.
really enticing
Yeah,
cheese.
yeah, me
I'm not
not
loving that.
either. No, it's kind of. I'm not. Yeah, it's not doing thing. It's not doing anything I really love.
There's a slight muddiness to it.
Yeah, muddy is a good word. Yeah, I like. I
Yeah.
almost wish it wasn't whatever animal it was, or at least if it was just that, maybe not a blue. Maybe they
Yes.
focus goatee or
Yeah.
sheep.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
combination is a little bit jarring, isn't it?
jarring is the word. Yeah,
Mm.
I want to
Yeah,
like it 'cause it's so pretty.
I do too. I
Yeah,
think it's very attractive.
yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what they could do differently. Maybe it's just
No,
a little too blue for the.
maybe a lighter bluing, maybe, or
Mm.
maybe if that leaned into the bounciness of the texture rather than the creaminess.
Mm. I don't know. I think the creaminess is one of the things that's got going for it, though.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe more creamy then. It sort of hovers somewhere in an uncanny valley between bouncy and creamy for me.
Mm.
All right.
Yes.
Four,
Oh,
4.5. Where are you at?
probably at 4.5.
Okay, let's say 4.5.
I wanted to like it more.
Yeah,
I'm a little sad.
yeah, for everyone.
um,
1199 next.
1199. Okay, here we go. So, I mean, incredibly sunshine yellow,
I
um,
think it's
very kind of
wow.
buttercuppy.
Do you think it's Jersey
I
or
wonder. Yeah, I don't know, but it's certainly very kind of sunshiny, isn't it? Quite a attractive, gnarly, natural rind. Got a lot of kind of dips and divots in
yeah?
the surface and good
It's a
healthy
very
molds
pretty
growing
rind.
on it.
When you see, so I like that color in it. I do does make you wonder if it's Jersey or something. And
Mm.
then around the pockets of blue, it's sort of whiter.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a problem for you? Do you not mind that?
I don't think I mind that.
Cool.
I
Okay, then
think,
I'm not.
because the blue's breaking it down, the very
Yeah,
act of
yeah,
breaking it down is changing the colouring.
same color.
I think
Yeah,
that's okay. I don't think I have a problem with that. Again, it's a slightly tricky type of curd to
yeah,
blue. So
yeah,
where you've got the piercing lines and you've got some white molds growing in there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
they look more sort of Penicillium candidum going in there.
yeah.
Um, which I don't know why, because there isn't any on the surface. So
Mm,
it's a slightly tricky curd structure to blue, isn't it?
yeah.
Mm.
That's what happens when you're into the hard blue category, isn't it?
Mm.
But then so on, quite, high middle for appearance. It's
Yeah,
quite pretty, like 7.5.
yeah. I mean, I guess maybe 7, just because I've got very uneven bluing on one side. But
Sure. I'll go that then. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Okay.
It smells like cheddar. That was not very
Surprise.
edifying. I mean, in the set makes like the buttery,
Yes,
cheesy smell.
yes. There's not
Works
much
on my tools.
of the blue.
No,
A little bit
maybe
though.
not.
There's a kind of high note, isn't there? There's a
Yeah,
sort of
a little bit. I mean, I'm quite enticed by that. It makes me think very much of West Country and rich
Mhm.
milk and yeah, a buttery aroma.
I'm just going to get a bigger surface area freshly
Yeah.
cut to smell from. I'm not getting a lot from that.
No, same really. I mean, it's difficult because they have sort of largely been quite restrained
Yes,
cheeses, and the
yeah,
British do make quite restrained cheese.
yes, which is fine.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it is kind of when you go into a dairy where cheese is being made, it is kind of
yes,
that sort of
that
smell, isn't
fresh
it?
sour milk. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So really pleasant,
Hmm.
not very characteristically blue, which for
No,
a blue category,
suppose
just from
this.
the
Yeah,
aroma, which for a
yeah.
blue category is a bit surprising.
6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the texture's that it's quite flexible again.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of a break though. Not
Yeah,
quite as a little bit
yeah,
of a snap to the curd.
yeah. On the
Mm,
bouncy end of the territorial um
mm,
texture.
yeah. Yeah, really quite bouncy.
It's good. I'm a bit
Yeah,
confused. I'm not
yeah, me
quite
too.
sure what to think about that.
It's bouncy in a buttery way rather than in a rubbery way.
Yes.
The butter's bouncy, so that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. No,
But
but I know what you mean though.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
It's quite fun and sort of
Mm.
summery.
Mm,
I'm just not used to it.
no,
6.5?
very little influence from the blue. Mm,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at least it's not crunchy. It's not got the gritty thing.
no, but it's not doing very much to the flavor.
No, we're still on texture.
Mm. So
Six
six
and a
and a half.
half? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'd say kind of something like the same for the flavor, actually. Maybe
Yeah, me
six.
too.
Sure. The thing is, like, it's not totally integrated. Like, I just got a sudden burst of very musty blue,
Mm-hmm.
but sort of not as part of an intertwined thing. Maybe
Yeah.
6.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's quite pleasant. It's
Yeah.
just it you're in a blue category,
Yeah, maybe you need to be more so.
you just do need to taste a bit of blue,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it doesn't very much. But I think it's just it's just a surprising cheese, isn't it? It's sort of
Isn't it? I'm not quite sure what to do with it in my mind, which is cool. I like that.
Mhm.
I feel like maybe there's a way for the flavors to integrate more, and like you said, for the beer to come out more at some point,
Mhm.
and that would it would bring it up a little.
Yeah. Okay. We're happy with that one then.
Yeah.
Just get a bit more water.
Last
So
cheese.
the
One, two,
last cheese.
1220. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you've left us a very, very pretty cheese for the end.
Good.
To give us something to talk about, which is nice. When I say pretty, it's probably handsome. Don't know why it's handsome rather than pretty, but
It's quite gendered, isn't it? Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm gendering my cheese. I really shouldn't.
Yeah,
But
I do it.
but it's just quite a handsome fellow, isn't it? A well-dressed chap.
I'm going to get into it now.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
interestingly soft from not even getting it out of the paper yet.
mm. It's so it's clearly wrapped in leaves.
Oh,
Um, sort of really nicely adhered all the way
wow.
around.
Yeah.
Little smattering of
Oh,
molds on top.
yeah.
Uh, so it's altogether very attractive, I think.
Definitely handsome.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Taste, again, we've got that changing colour that we were talking about before,
Yeah.
which again I don't have a problem with because it's just how the cheese is breaking down, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this one is doing quite a lot of obviously there's very different influences from the rind and
Yeah.
from where the pockets of blue are. So there's sort of
Yeah.
two different things going on, isn't there?
Yeah.
Um,
Which sort of, even though the blue's sort of not that widely distributed, it's more through the centre.
mhm.
I guess that's where they pierced it from the edge.
Yeah, well,
So I kind of it doesn't detract from the appearance for me in that sense.
no,
I mean,
not
they
to me
get
either.
a lot of points for the leaves, which feels unfair. Wrap anything in leaves and suddenly scores high, but it is very attractive. And
You can't say fairer than that, can you?
no, and I feel like the leaves have kind of. I think you said this in a way. It's very integrated with the surface of the cheese. It's really become part of it, and it's
Yeah.
got some of that mold growing on it that makes me feel that the way that's been done is making it really work together and not just happenstance.
Mm.
So I like that a lot.
Yeah, I don't think it's window dressing. I think
No, no, quite.
yeah,
That's the
they've
important
done
thing.
something, they've done something that was worth doing rather than just
Yeah,
something that was pretty.
good.
And when I've cut a fresh
Yeah,
slice from the middle, I actually
yeah,
think it looks even better.
cool.
Um, there's clearly some sort of ripening happening from the outside
Yes.
in, which
Yeah,
is unusual in a blue. Blue is
yeah,
normally, ripening from the veins out. So there's like two different things happening in the same cheese, which I think is interesting.
exciting.
So would you give it?
It's quite high, but like 8 at least.
Yeah, I was going to say 8, maybe 8.5.
Yeah, let's should we say 8.5 because it really is striking.
Yeah.
And I guess you
Often,
get
to be
awarded for.
fair,
Hmm?
sorry, just thinking about, we have given a 9, haven't we? I
Yeah,
don't think that's any less attractive.
I
I
don't.
think,
Maybe it should have a 9.
yeah,
And I just liked what you said about how the leaves have been done because it is really meaningful.
yeah,
It's not just you really feel like that's integrated cultures. Yeah, I'd happily say a 9 for that. I
yeah.
mean, you could argue if you're a retailer, what you want from things is people to look at it and go, "Oh, can I try some of that?" So
Mm,
that's a good reason for cheese to look good.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the aroma
Okay.
is. Well, It doesn't feel hugely complex.
No,
Um, I
it's
imagine,
dry, isn't it?
yeah, it's all right. Six-ish, maybe it's quite. The more I think about it, at least 6.5. Once you start really thinking about it, it's biscuity,
It's biscuity, definitely.
not just blue. I'm trying to work out if I can smell something from the leaf.
Yeah, I don't
I
think I'm
can't
getting
really.
anything from the leaf.
No, no, I think it's the cheese thing's basically. I'm 6.5.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not sort of getting anything vegetal, or
No,
I'm not. Yeah, I think it's a pleasant flavour aroma, but quite a simple one and quite
yeah,
striking. So I think 6.5
yeah,
is probably fair enough.
good. And the texture looks very nice, just in general. Anyway, very creamy.
Yeah.
This is the creamiest one, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of emotions then.
So texturally, I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's
Did
not
you?
blowing me away.
No. Also, that blue is lumpy as anything. Like, it's very creamy, and
Hmm.
then I thought you were going to have at it for the blues. Not so
Hmm.
much gritty
A
as
chewy
actually
blue.
lumpy.
Hmm. Let me try a. I didn't get anything terribly chewy. Let me
Oh,
try. Yeah, a little bit of a tube of
yeah.
chewiness, isn't that?
I mean, you get that in gorgonzola, don't you? Just a thing.
Well, you do. Yep,
It's
yep, you
actually like
do.
lumps,
Absolutely.
actual lumps.
Hmm.
It's not like bits of rye bread or something, is it?
I don't know. I think it's just the structure of the paste, and that's how the blue's grown.
Amazing.
But but it's not gritty. It's a
No.
little bit chewy, but it's not gritty.
Yeah.
So the blue hasn't gone over, but it certainly is a bit chewy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. 7.
Yep.
I mean, if I took it, on its own, I mean, yeah. I think I prefer personally the texture of, say, the Stiltony type blues that are a bit firmer, but I don't think this is wrong. I just think happen to like that more
Yeah.
in
I think,
cheese.
what we keep finding is with this texture, it is much harder to integrate the blue, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get much more two separate cheeses happening.
Yeah.
Um, like you say, you get that with Gorgonzola too, but
Yeah.
um, somehow the best Gorgonzolas still integrate everything together, don't they?
They do that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Higher
Maybe it's
moisture than that.
yeah.
The
And flavour
flavour,
wise,
I get a
did
lot of
we score?
bitterness.
Did we score that,
That
Vicky? I can't remember.
Texture,
uh
not flavor.
No.
no
Okay.
shit, sorry. 7?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
7. I'm
Yeah.
not getting on with the flavour, I'm afraid.
Is it the bitterness?
It's mainly the bitterness, which comes
Mm.
quite soon and persists for me in that quite like I've actually chewed an aspirin, quite
Yeah. Yeah.
chemical bitter.
I It's so pretty, this cheese, that I want to love it.
You know, right?
And then the
Yeah,
it's tricky, isn't it? Bitter is such a tricky thing in cheese because
yeah,
you know you like bitter chocolate, you like bitter
yeah,
coffee,
yeah.
you like your G&T. So it is a tricky thing, isn't it? Why don't we appreciate
Don't
bitter
feel
in
right
cheese so
in cheese
much?
to me. No, I have a much lower tolerance for it. It is,
Yeah,
and I don't get a great deal else.
yeah.
I don't know if that's just I'm eating loads of it because I really want
I know.
to understand it and love it.
Mm.
Um,
It's difficult, isn't it? Because I think we love a cheese when it's in balance, don't we?
yeah, yeah,
And then, there can be cheeses that are in balance, but they taste fine, and cheeses that are in balance that taste amazing. But
yeah.
when something is a little bit out of balance, it just sort of stops you in your tracks a bit, doesn't it?
That's the
And I
thing. I
think,
can't really get past that bitterness, and that there's some other bits in there is actually oddly sweet, which would be almost the opposite. But there's some sweetness and maybe some milky caramel, but mainly the
mm,
bitterness sort of overwhelming me a bit.
yeah, yeah. Sadly,
Mm.
I kind of feel the same. I want to really like it because it just
Yeah,
looks nice. Um, but yeah, it just feels a little out of kilter.
yeah,
Um, so
So
where
that
does
was
that take it?
that was the last cheese.
yeah,
Mhm,
There is a clear winner,
yeah,
mhm.
which is 1127, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
tie for second place, which is
Okay.
Okay.
with 1105 and 1143. And then
Okay. So do we need to get a
Yeah.
second and a third out of that, or can they tie at second?
they can tie if you're happy for them to tie, they can tie. That's absolutely fine. If you wanted to
How,
go back and have a look at any of the cheeses, there's like kind of quarter of a mark between the two
mm,
silvers and the bronze.
Okay.
I mean, that's
So
fine.
maybe.
I believe there's quite, a high mark for the gold.
I think if there's only a quarter between the bronze and the two silvers, there's not really because so would it be two silvers and a bronze, or would the bronze lose out?
It would do two silvers and a bronze, yeah.
Okay. I think because it's so tight, if you don't mind, I feel like we ought to
Yeah.
double check
sure.
it.
So
Yeah.
those two silvers and a bronze, the bronze is 1072.
1072. Okay.
Have you still got your numbers associating with your cheeses, Ruth? Good.
I'm so organized.
Because I have really not done that. I mean, it is in the
Okay.
order we've tasted them,
Yes,
but
it is. So
can
one,
I have a
two,
look at?
three, four, five. So that's the seventh cheese we tried.
Ah, it's not an orange one, is it?
This is an orange one. It's the
Oh,
orange
good.
one with quite a lot of blue and the orangey bacterial
Yeah,
looking rind. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So
Good,
that's
good.
the bronze, Vicky, is that right?
Yeah. And then the two silvers is 1105, which is a number at the eighth. No.
Okay, so that was the very pale, very tall one
Oh,
then.
yes, I remember which one that was.
And then the other
Yeah.
silver is 1143.
Next time I'm going to be better at this.
It's a 12.
Okay, so that's another orange one.
Yeah.
And that's the one with the sort of surprising, maybe brushed looking rind.
Yes. Well, thankfully they're all quite distinctive.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
So,
I think we ought
so
to try
those
and
two are the silvers, and that's the bronze.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So the two silvers got 34.25, and then the bronze has got 34.
So is that okay if I don't think we need to score them again, but just sort of,
Just confirm
or
that,
do we?
yeah, whatever you want
Yeah.
to do. You confirm.
Which order do you want to do them in, Ruth? Does it not matter? It's not
Um,
about strength, is it?
no, but then the middle one is so very different that maybe it's better to
Yeah.
try that separately, to try these two next to
Sure.
each other.
Great.
Yeah, do you think?
Okay.
Which one
Yeah.
are you going first, the orangey rind or the brownie rind?
Brownie rind. Wait.
Okay, so
Yes.
brownie rind number 1143.
And that's the one with the rind I thought was a bit brushed.
Yes, I mean,
Yes.
it might well not be, but that's how we're identifying it.
Yes.
So I think what I'd like to do is not
Hmm.
say very much necessary, but just try the other one next
Yeah.
to it.
The other orange one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I shouldn't say, why am I going first? What do you think, Ned?
You go first.
I think 1072 is better.
Which was that?
The orangey,
The one
tacky
that's
rind rather than the darker brown rind.
okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, but what do you think? It's brighter, it's cleaner,
Yeah.
it's more fondant.
Yeah.
Do you want to increase any element of the scoring for that one then? Texture or because you gave it that one, gave it an 8 for appearance, 7 for aroma, 8.5 for texture, and 7 for flavour.
Okay.
I think it wins on flavour.
I think so too. I think we were too low on the flavour for that one.
What was its flavour? What did we give it?
7 for flavour,
Was it
8.5 for texture,
yeah.
7 for
Texture is astonishing.
appearance. They were quite high
Fantastic.
scores generally, apart from flavour.
I think
Maybe.
flavour ought to be higher.
7.5?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cute. Yeah. Where does that put that with the other one?
That puts it second, and the other two now be joint third.
Should we
Okay,
taste
well
the
now
other
we
one?
have to try the last one.
Yeah.
Can't second guess it, can you? You need to just try it again. Sorry, just freshening the palate. Sorry, I took a big old bit of cracker there.
Thanks to Miller's for our lovely crackers.
Thanks to Miller's. Okay.
Oops, hang on. That's better. That's complicated now. So this is in second place. Is that right?
Mhm. And these are currently in joint third.
Yeah.
Does that feel right to you, or does that feel wrong?
No, it does. Yeah. I think there's something about the combination of flavour and texture in our current silver.
I do too.
I mean, I would have those joint third.
Which ones? These two?
The other two, yeah, I think. I find it
If
a bit
that's
hard.
allowed, if that's allowed, that's what I would like. I
Good.
think our winner we were very certain of.
Definitely.
I think coming back to them, I think 1072 is my second.
Yeah.
And then I think those, if we're allowed to have a tie for bronze.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's where you are, Ned.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the winning cheese for that round was C31127 with a score of 39.5. So thank you, judges, for that intense blue class judging.
Quite intense.
I can't believe we've managed to get through all of them. And then, thanks to Butlers for our aprons and sponsoring us every year, and also for Miller's crackers, which are delicious and amazing, our cracker partner for this year. So to see the winners of this category to go through into the Supreme Final on the 10th of June, which will be live on our YouTube, Facebook, and our website, and then those winning cheese will go into our Supreme Final judging, which will be on the 11th of June, also live. So come back and join us then. So thanks, Ned, and thanks, Ruth.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Vicky.
Bye.